Stop, 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 stop. Ooh. Samurai sword on my back. You don't know how to act. Maybe you should relax. Maybe you should relapse. Just kidding. Stop. Woo. Woo. Stop.
Yes. The 20-second
Where are we looking?
red light. Testing 1, 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2022 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals here, as you can see, in Portimão, Circuito do Algarve. Myself, Henry Baudet, and Jen Wade are on site to bring you all the action, starting today with time qualifying. Jen, what a pleasure it is to have you back in the studio. It is going to be nearly 5 days of the best live karting coverage anywhere in the world.
That's it, the biggest grand finals yet, Henry. It's number 23. And of course, we've got 394 drivers coming to you from Portimão. Also, 8 classes this time, bringing in 1 new class with the E20 Junior and 60 nations being represented. It's going to be great. And we're bringing it all live here, direct from the circuit.
But it's not just going to be myself and Jen Wade. We're going to have a whole host of guest commentators from around the world of karting, and also every evening after the racing finishes, starting tonight, we're going to be here live in the studio with the studio show. Jen, you're going to have features, videos, lots of fun, lots of laughter, and lots of very, very special guests indeed.
Yeah, lots of special guests, and of course today's the day of the organisation, so we're going to be hearing a little bit more about behind the scenes. But of course now we're about to go into qualifying, and I think it's a little bit, stressful out there in the paddock. I just came in actually, nearly got blown away, but that's another story.
Yes.
And I'll keep you updated with anything I hear as well, Henry, because I know you're going to be right here in the commentary.
Exactly. So today we have 5 qualifying sessions. We have qualifying for E20 Junior, the brand new class, and Senior, Micromax, Minimax, and DD2 Masters. Let's get underway. This is the biggest and best show in karting. So, ladies and gentlemen, into the commentary box we go. Qualifying underway for E20 Junior and Senior. We have 34 karts on track in total. So in every qualifying session and heat race, the grids will be combined. The finals, they will have separate races. Now, for those of you new to Rotax karting, the yellow and white karts with the numbers 6 at the beginning, they are the junior karts. The red and white karts with starting number 700 on up, they are the senior E20 karts, and it is Germany's Luca Köster in kart number 711 who is leading at the moment. As you can see, track conditions are not ideal. We have had rain and very cold winds over the last 2 days. This morning, for last unofficial practices, a lot of the sessions were dry, but just as qualifying rolled around, this nearly 1,600 metre circuit, which has hosted the Grand Finals for the 4th time, got pelted with a rainstorm, and still karts on slick tyres, but certainly there is mist in the air. Grip levels not ideal, as you can see, going down towards turn number 3 and number 4 here on this fantastic circuit. Lots of undulations here. It's number 702, Lebanon's Matthias Najem, going down to the bottom of the circuit now. Who is fastest of all? The driver there coming up the hill towards turns 8 and 9. That is number 712 kart. Going through your screens there with the blue and white crash helmet, that is Shota Kitazono from Japan. Like I said, 60 nationalities represented in this competition in total. Not all out there on the circuit right now, but in E20 Junior we have the Netherlands, Switzerland, Poland, Argentina, Belgium, Portugal, Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Mexico, Slovakia and Slovenia. In E20 Senior we have Germany, Lebanon, Chile, Sweden, Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan, France, Japan, Portugal, Canada, South Africa, Spain and Switzerland. It is Canada's Griffin Dowler in kart 714 who now goes quickest of all in the junior class. In 16th place it's Christopher Holst, kart 602 for Switzerland, who is quickest. Fast lap times 60.098 seconds for Griffin Dowler in E20 Senior, and in E20 Junior it is 61.583 seconds. Fastest lap for Christopher Holtz. Drivers coming across the start-finish line. You can see the Formula 1 circuit in the background here with just 2 minutes to go in time qualifying. This is one of the fastest sections in all of European karting, coming out of the final corner, flat out through turn number 1. Now you're coming downhill through turn number 2 on your screens, hard on the brakes for the right-hander at turn 3 here. Then turn 4, you're still going downhill on board with number 714 Griffin Dowler, down to turn number 5 at the very bottom of the circuit. Now you start heading up the hill. Got to have lots of momentum. You flick right very fast turn number 6. Now through turn 7, flat out again, hard on the brakes for turns 8 and 9, double apex left-hander, and now you begin to go downhill again through the left-hander at turn number 10, and now the steep descent through turn 11. Lots of overtaking opportunities down here into turn number 12. Griffin Dowler now begins the steepest climb up the hill through turn number 13, now turn 14, the last 2 corners. There's Matthias Najem on your screens to complete 1 lap of this near 1,600 metre circuit in the Algarve region of southern Portugal. It is Griffin Dowler, Luca Cuesta, Raul Vargas, Eric Lemoyne, Chen Han Lin and Matthias Najem, the top 6 in E20 Senior at the moment. In E20 Junior, Sweden's Joel Bergström in kart number 613 is the fastest junior. He is 15th overall. Then it's Mikael Soltis from in the number 615 kart from Slovakia, followed by João Dias from Portugal and Hector Ramirez. That's Hector Ramirez actually in the senior class, 18th overall. Thomas Ibsen from Poland is 4th rather now in E20 Junior, but you're watching the senior drivers going through this. Number 708, that is Eric Lemoynier on your screens for Team France. Just a reminder to all you drivers, spectators, viewers who are new to the Rotax Grand Finals, this is not a team versus team, this is nation versus nation. As the checkered flag comes out, each driver representing their nation. You have to earn your ticket to this event. You cannot buy your way in, you have to earn the right. As the checkered flag waves, Jesper Sjöberg for Sweden in kart 706 goes quickest right at the death of the session with a time of 59.810. So amidst the mist on track, Jesper Sjöberg finds some grip and is able to move to the top of the charts. The junior drivers, you can see in the yellow going through there. There's one of the senior drivers, number 701, that was Armin Harnell going through your screens. But it is Jesper Sjöberg, 59.81 seconds ahead of Raúl Vargas from Spain, Griffin Dowler from Canada, Matthias Nugem from Lebanon, and Luca Cuesta from Germany. Your top 5 in E20 Senior. E20 Junior, led, as we said earlier, by Jo Bergström from Sweden. Then it is Mikael Soltis from Slovakia, João Dias from Portugal, and Thomas Ibsen from Poland. Christopher Holtz is next in junior, then Tish Dames from Belgium and Tish Stevens from the Netherlands. Henrique de Oliveira from Portugal is 7th in juniors, as you see the carts now heading back into Parc Fermé. That is E20 Junior and Senior time qualifying. You can see the vast paddock area here at Portimão. The drivers have to go through. They will have their nose cones checked. You can see the official there in the black with the iPad making sure that the nose cone brackets haven't dropped. Instant penalty for anybody. There's our technical commissioner, Paul Klassen, walking through the screen, just checking out the drivers. On your screens in the foreground was number 709. That was Chen Han Lin from Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan. But here is a look at the unofficial, subject of course to post qualifying scrutineering results, the combined results for E20 Junior and Senior time qualifying. Jesper Sjöberg from Sweden, Raúl Vargas, Griffin Dowler, Matthias Nugem, Luca Cuesta, Shota Kitazono from Japan in 6th, Chen Han Lin from Chinese Taipei in 7th, then Eric Lemoynier, Tobias Follett, Chan Yi-Lin from Chinese Taipei, Armin Harnell, Gilberto Luaca from Switzerland, and Musa Kaji from South Africa. Your top 13, Manuel Martins from Portugal rounds out the top 14, 15th overall, and fastest in juniors was Jo Bergström from Sweden. Hector Ramirez, oldest driver here. Hector is in his late 60s. He is in 16th place overall, 15th in senior for the Chilean team. Then it's Mikael Soltis and João Dias, your top 18 overall. Those drivers with a bit of work to do in the heat races, which begin tomorrow. Thomas Ibsen from Poland, then Christopher Holtz from Switzerland, Tish Dames and Tish Stevens from Belgium and the Netherlands, respectively. Henrique de Oliveira from Portugal, Axin Chi, although everyone in the paddock calls her Coco, she is in 24th position. Jan Stencil from Poland, leading a trio of Polish drivers, 25th, 26th, 27th, Adam Sido and Victoria Kulecka in 27th. Then it's Christian Cantu from Mexico, Tin Yao Tzu from Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan, Colin Vashny from Poland, Pablo Benitez from Argentina, Anja Leva, the young lady driver from Slovenia, 32nd overall, Matthias Chellerup from Denmark, and rounding out the field in 34th position, in fact only set a few laps, was Jose Hurtado from Chile. There is a look now at the next qualifying session on our screens. Coming up very shortly, it will be Micromax qualifying. The youngest drivers we have here in the Grand Finals, aged 8, 9 and 10 years old. The very oldest driver in this grid could be just 11 years old, but most of them 8, 9 and 10 years of age. They will have their qualifying session. 36 drivers in Micromax, supported as ever by one of our 3 very loyal chassis partners, Birrell ART. Now, during the course of the next 4.5 days, I'm going to be joined in the commentary box by the likes of Tiffany Chittenden, Kyle Kumaran, Teresa Babichkova, Alex Goldschmidt, Justin White, Senna van Valstein, Eugene Britz, Emiliano Denner, Ricardo Longhi, Pedro Hiltbrand, Filippo Laghi, and maybe even one or two very other special guests, all joining myself in the commentary box. They'll be joining Jen in the studio. Gust Specken from the Netherlands will be our man on the scene, pit reporting down on the grid. It is going to be the longest and most in-depth karting broadcast we have ever brought you here in the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals. Micromax, and again I want to thank my colleague Alex Goldschmidt for providing some statistics on the nationalities. So in Micromax we have the following nations represented. So if you're watching this on the Rotax Karting YouTube page, then if you're from the following nations, you have got a driver to cheer for in Micromax: Australia, Bahrain, Belgium, Canada, Chile, Colombia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Germany, United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Hungary, Japan, Kyrgyzstan, Lebanon, Lithuania, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Poland, Portugal, Serbia, Slovakia, South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, the United Arab Emirates, Uruguay, and the United States. We look at some of the spectators. You can see the media team from Chinese Taipei in the center of our camera. Just to the right of that lady, that's Kamal Murad from Team Australia watching on. We'll see Kamal going out a little bit later on. The grey skies overhead, there are the flags of nearly 60 of all 60 nations competing here in what is the biggest, most colourful festival in all of kart racing. On your screens, number 21 cut, that is Marco Falli. And if the driver just adjusting the rear wheels in the kart looks familiar, that's because it's his entrant Nicholas Scholl, Austrian driver, a very familiar face in the Grand Finals, now racing sports cars but has his own team, and it's going to be slick tyres, the order of the day. You can just see in the back of the screen the number 4 car, that is Lachlan Johnston, one of 2 Scottish drivers we have here. Young Lachlan Johnson, Team UK, got his ticket through the British Championships. The United Kingdom have the most drivers in this class. They've got 4 drivers. 3 drivers got their tickets through the United Kingdom, and then Albert Friend won the Rotax Grand Festival at Kerpen in Germany to earn his ticket. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen in the red and black Rotax jacket, that is our race director, Ramiro Brito. And Ramiro will be one of Jen Wade's guests in the studio show, which will begin at approximately 4:45 local time. But before we get to the next qualifying session, this event wouldn't be possible without some of our very loyal sponsors and partners. Let's hear from one of them now. Welcome back. Thank you very much to our partners here, but looking at the Micromax drivers sitting on the grid, there is the number 33, late entry, Ricardo Gonçalves from Portugal. And Gonçalves taking a late ticket. We had a withdrawal, and he was the first driver on the waiting list. There's thumbs up from number 11, Ronja Rieder from Switzerland. And looking down the order, number 7 on your screens, that is Andreas Kellerup from Denmark. And there he goes, with the Danish race suit. And the number 5 car, that's Oiva Ventenranta, one of the drivers that competed in this event last year. We've got 2, 4, 6 drivers that competed in this event last year. Number 2, Taigen Sakano from Japan. He finished 13th last year. Number 5, Oiva Ventenranta. He finished 31st last year. Britain's Albert Friend in kart number 8. He finished 9th last year. David Matlak from Serbia. He finished 18th last year. He'll be in kart number 12. In fact, there he is on your screens. Branislav Rentka from Slovakia in kart 15. Finished 23rd last year, but the driver that maybe everyone has to beat, Ainis Vibrianatis, number 30 from Lithuania, just missed out on a podium last year. He finished 4th. So the whistle blows, see the official centre of your screen to guide the mechanics off the circuit. Now the drivers are just left on their own. You can see Jensen Chalk in kart number 18 sitting there just behind the number 13 kart of Kacper Rashpolt from Poland. 36 Birol ART Micromax karts. Now, all these karts were given to the drivers and their engines in the kart raffle at the start of the week. They've spent 2.5 days preparing practice sessions. Now it's down to time qualifying. Not everybody will qualify today. We have 5 of our 8 classes qualifying today. 3 classes will qualify tomorrow morning. Then it is into the heat races all day tomorrow and Thursday. Finals, pre-finals day is Friday. Finals day is Saturday. As the engines on the circuit are fired, and 36 identical 125 Rotax Micromax powered Birol ART chassis head out onto the circuit, and a few drivers just choosing to wait and see. You can see behind the dummy grid, that's the Rotax club for the various national distributors and guests. 7.5 minutes of this 8-minute session to go out onto the circuit. Oh, somebody has stopped on the start-finish line. Can't quite see who that is, but 35 drivers heading out onto the circuit. There's a view of turn number 3, that downhill right left-hander, and you can see that it's spitting with rain. All the karts on slick tyres. This is going to be a very, very treacherous session indeed. The driver's going to be in a bit of a quandary. You've got to go out and go put a fast lap in early in case it rains, but then also you've got to make sure you've got to stay on track and save your tyres, because if it doesn't rain, the track will get quicker and quicker as the session progresses, and it will be the quickest of all right at the end of the session. So get an early banker lap in, and then keep the tyres at the temperature, keep your kart in good condition, and go for another lap at the end, provided the rain doesn't return. So the drivers on their out lap now. The slipstream effect in this category is extreme, to say the least, especially with such a long straight down towards turn 3. And it is the drive at the side of the circuit, I believe, is number 17, Team USA's Marco Samut. Marco, who was undefeated in the US Rotax Challenge and won the US National Finals in the Newcastle Motorsports Park in Indiana earlier this year. But his Grand Finals qualifying session has not gone well, and a couple of drivers chopping and changing position just to try and get themselves into the preferred bit of track position, but of course every time drivers move offline to make an overtaking maneuver, that costs them lap times. So the name of the game here is to find a drafting partner who is as quick as you, work together with that driver, pick up their slipstream going down the main straight, and then try not to get somebody else behind you, because then you end up towing them around and they get the advantage. The end of the first round of flying laps, it's the Mustang, Martin Marquez from Portugal, who is fastest of all. 109.540 seconds. Once again, these drivers 8, 9 and 10 years old. The 125 Micromax karts doing approximately 70-75 kilometers an hour. Maybe a little bit more. We'll get the full facts of that. The 2-speed DD2 karts, the fastest, and they are doing nearly 130 kilometers an hour. Now, up towards turns 8 and 9. Here we go, hard on the brakes. It's Martin Marquez in kart number 26 who is fastest. Then Maxim Bobrishov from the United Arab Emirates, the Gulf States, very well represented here this year, and that is one region where karting is really on the rise. We've got some very, very fast drivers here from the UAE, as always, also from Bahrain and from Saudi Arabia. And for those of you that have been keeping up with the football, the FIFA World Cup, there are 2 drivers from Saudi Arabia here. In fact, 3. Mohammed Vali from Saudi Arabia, but he's representing Kuwait. I have to say, they are amongst the happiest people in the paddock. Fortunately, we have several drivers from Argentina here as well. They're maybe not so happy at the moment, but that's football. This is go-karting. This is where the real action is. And it is now Marcos Masinas from Lithuania in kart number 22 that goes fastest. Maxim Becker from Germany second. Albert Friend and Daniel Minto from Team UK third and fourth. And then it's Bobrishov down to fifth. Rashpold from Poland in sixth. Juan Camilo Reyes Garçon from Colombia in seventh. The Mustang, Martin Marquez, drops to eighth. Then it's Marco Manson in kart number 9, New Zealand, and it's a big, big welcome back to 2 nations that couldn't compete in the Grand Finals last year, New Zealand and South Africa. The Rotax family is complete. Not every nation managed to get themselves a ticket. We're missing the likes of Algeria and Morocco and Egypt. None of their drivers could find a ticket and get away here. You can't buy your way in, you have to earn that ticket. So not every nation that we've had represented here in the past is here, but that's not because of any restrictions, that is because they simply could not get a ticket. 394 tickets available across 8 classes. They are the most sought after bits of paper in all of kart racing. Now, watching Team UK's number 8, Albie Friend. He goes down towards the bottom part of the circuit. He's got a good slipstream, trying to see who that is directly in front of him. In fact, no, it's Albert Friend is the lead driver on your screen. Behind him in the red and white race suit, I think that could be one of the, that is Team Poland, so that would be Kasper Rashpold behind him, but it's the number 8, Albert Friend, that sort of deep blue Team UK race suit. He comes out the final corner, crests the rise, downhill, and moves to 4th or 5th position. In fact, he drops down a little bit. Marco Manson in kart number 9 we're looking at now. From Team New Zealand, that very dark, actually it wasn't Albert Friend, I apologise. It was Marco Manson who goes quickest. Off our screens, Albert Friend now puts in a very quick lap time. He goes second behind Daniel Minto. So it's a Team UK 1-2. Bobrishov for the UAE is third. 90 seconds to go. We're watching Rashpolt in kart number 13, chasing Marco Manson, working together. Jensen Chalk moves up into 6th position at the moment. The gap between first, Daniel Minto at 108.587, and 35th, which is Dario Galvez from Spain, is 2.7 seconds. It's Minto, Friend, Bobrishov. Now on your screens, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, this circuit is split into 3 timing sectors. The first sort of colour block, if that is yellow or if that is grey, that means that the driver has not improved on their best time. Oh, and a spin in the pack there coming up the hill, and that has cost several drivers a decent lap time. Trying to grab a number check on that driver. I think it is driver number 1, the red race suit, yes, it is. That is Yusuf Al Gaith from Bahrain. You can just see on the replay now, he's trying to get out of the way, but then has a much tighter entry into the corner than he wants to. Kart loops around, and the 3 drivers following him all have to take evasive action, and that's the number 22 kart of Majos Masinas. Majos Masinas was in 12th position, but he's lost that twice. Had that lap ruined for him now. 10 seconds to go. I was going to say, Oiva Ventenranta, green first sector. That means that is that driver's personal best first sector. If you see a purple sector, that is the fastest sector time of the entire session. Nobody on a purple sector lap at the moment. They're either grey or yellow, which means not a driver's best lap so far, but Maxim Becker on a quick lap as the clock strikes 0. The order is Minto, Manson and Rashpold. In fact, Marco Manson and Kasper Rashpold go 2nd and 3rd as they cross the line. David Matlack in 5th position takes the checkered flag. Martin Marquez, 8th fastest. Diego Gonzalez, 9th. Oiva Ventenrata, 11th. They've taken the checkered flag. Watch for Jensen Chalk in kart number 18. He comes across the line. Minto, Becker, Manson is quickest. Oh, the lap goes away. Jensen Chalk has to make do with 10th fastest. But it is Daniel Minto from the United Kingdom who takes provisional pole position in Micromax with a time of 68.58 seconds, working with Albert Friend for that lap. And Albert Friend qualifies 5th. So in Micromax, the order is UK, Germany, New Zealand, Poland, the United Kingdom, Lithuania, and then Serbia in 7th position, the UAE 8th, Portugal 9th, and the 3rd of the 4 British drivers, Jensen Chalk, rounding out the top 10. Now we watch to see, there's the weigh bridge, so each driver and kart must be weighed. There is a minimum weight limit that every driver must adhere to. So there's the Team New Zealand, the Kiwi gets out, thumbs up from Marco Manson to Kasper Rashpold. They worked well together to qualify 3rd and 4th. There's the number 12, David Matlack just realises he's qualified 7th overall. The number 20 kart going through, that would be one of Team Canada's Brando Londono. Just sits on the side of the cart. There's number 34 on your screens. That is Sebastian Piemonte from Colombia. The number 16 cart, that is Diego Perez Gonzalez. 11th fastest. Now we look at the number 30 kart. That is Ioannis Vibriantis. So Ioannis Vibriantis 4th in this event last year, don't forget. And I'm looking down to see where Ioannis ended up, only 22nd fastest. So he is going to be disappointed with that. He's wearing the very bright livery Lithuanian race suits. They're even more garish this year. That's last year's suit. And so here's your unofficial qualifying results from Micromax. Daniel Minto, Maxim Becker, Marco Manson. The United Kingdom, Germany and New Zealand, your top 3. Kasper Rashpold from Poland, Albert Friend, United Kingdom, and Majos Masinas from Lithuania, your top 6. David Matlack is 7th for Serbia. Then it is Maxim Bobrashov from the UAE, Martin Marquez from Portugal, and Jensen Chalk rounding up the top 10. Look at that, less than 0.3 of a second separating the top 10. Diego Alonso Perez Gonzalez from Chile is 11th. Then it's Oiva Ventenranta from Finland, Sebastian Piemonte from Colombia, and in 14th position, Branislav Rentka, and Branislav Rentka representing Slovakia. After Branislav, rounding at the top 15, Vic van Kampenhout from Belgium. Then it is Yaroslav Matrenin from Kyrgyzstan, Marco Fari from Hungary, and Feliciano Bruschki from Uruguay. Uruguay have their biggest ever team here at the Grand Finals, a total of 3 drivers. Lachlan Johnson from the United Kingdom and Scotland in 19th fastest time. Brando Londono rounds out the top 20 for Team Canada. Tigan, the Tiger Sacano is 21st. Ines Vibrinatis is 22nd. Juan Camilo Reyes Cason from Colombia is 23rd. Then James Bedard from Canada. Sen Lindemann from the Netherlands. Rafael da Silva from South Africa. John Han from Hong Kong. Andreas Kellerup from Denmark. And Luke Konjanapitak from Thailand in 29th. Ricardo Goncalves is 30th, followed by Ronya Rida, Koda Singh, Yusuf Al-Gaith, Jan Dostal, and Dario Sanchez Galvez. Sadly, Team USA's Marco Samut failed to set a lap time. There is your full Micromax field. Now, all 36 Micromax drivers are guaranteed a place in the final. The next qualifying session is where things get very interesting, because in Minimax there are 72 drivers in total. 72 drivers. They will be split into 2 groups of 36 for their qualifying sessions and their races. Pre-finals, there will be 2 36-car pre-finals. The fastest 36 overall go through to the grand finals. Now, if you are watching from any of the following countries, you have drivers to cheer for in Minimax. They won't all be in this session. There's 2 sessions in total. They come back to back. But if you are watching from Argentina, Australia, Austria, Bahrain, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan, Colombia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Hungary, India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lebanon, Lithuania, Malaysia, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Peru, Poland, Portugal, Serbia, Slovakia, South Africa, South Korea, Switzerland, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, or the United States, you have at least 1 driver to cheer for. Now, looking on our screens there, we'll try and pick out a few drivers. Number 127 is from Finland, Juuso Soranki. We'll get back to Minimax time qualifying after this short break.
Take a deep breath. The 2023 lineup is here, and it's epic. More power, more control, more hardcore. Mountain beasts for off-the-hook riding. Virtually unstoppable crossover sleds. A trail legend. But the question is, have you got what it takes? We are Lynx. are you?
Welcome to our studio, and of course, just to let everyone know, this afternoon we'll be live from the track side after qualifying, and everyone can follow us if you go to the Rotax Grand Finals, Rotax new karting website as well, with a link to the live stream. So I'm just checking who we've got coming up this afternoon. Of course, catching up with Henry and myself will be Ramiro Brito, of course, our race director, and a couple of drivers. Looks interesting. So we're going to have to wait and see. Track presentation, of course, special guests coming in this afternoon. And of course, what's happening on social media. Now, if you haven't checked it out, go to Rotax Karting, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you find all the links to the brand new Rotax Grand Finals website. So if you haven't been following and you don't know where the new website is, the link is in the bio, of course, on Instagram. It's the new Rotax Grand Finals website, or you can just Google or search and you'll come to that. Of course, we're also going to find out from Henry who's on pole position for 5 of our classes, and talk a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow. So lots of interesting information coming up, and of course this week and tomorrow we'll be finding out more and meeting some of our teams, what's happening on the ground, and as Henry mentioned earlier, we've got one of our technical experts coming along, so he's going to be joining us as well on the grid. So lots to come this week. If you're not used to the Grand Finals and it's all new, go to the new Rotax Grand Finals website and make sure you check out everything. There's even an online brochure, the Gazette, which is, something we've had for a long time, but now you can just read it also on any device, on your phone, iPad, computer. Check it out, you can download it. There's lots of stories, meet our champions as well from last year, the manufacturers, lots of information, so be sure. Also, who has been the champion for the last 22 editions? Well, of course, we missed one here in Portimão. There goes one of our Photo 24 cameramen through the studio. What a view we have. And of course, not such nice weather, but we're going to stay here nice and warm and come back to Henry shortly to see what's happening out on track. So make sure you're joining us. Like I say, follow on all the channels. Of course, I've got nice helmet here of George Russell, one of our former Rotax champions, of course, not at the Grand Finals, but in Great Britain. So thanks for joining us. I just wanted to say watch the studio this afternoon, and you can catch all the action back on YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel at Rotax Karting for all the cool videos as well that are uploaded every night. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Jen. And as you will have noticed behind Jen on the screens, but also the window leading out on the circuit, the Minimax carts have left the grid and gone back to the holding areas. Why have they done that, might you ask? Well, because the mist of rain has turned into something far more substantial, and race director Ramiro Brito has made the decision that it is not safe to go out on slick tyres, so he is allowing all drivers to go and change onto wet tyres, and all 36 carts that were due to go out in that first session have thanked him for that, and it's even given the drivers time to get their wetsuits on. Now, this is Peru you're looking at. Well, not the country, but the driver from Peru. That is Jakob Assam in cart number 143. These are the odd number drivers. Now, let's see. Can Jakob get his wetsuit on without falling over? Let's have a little look. It's got one leg in. He's got 2 legs in. Is that Marshall going to help him? Nope. There is the Polish driver looking past, and we're going to just get over that Alpine Stars boot. There we go. And there is a look at some of our, I won't say warm and cozy spectators, more like frozen and drowning spectators. So the carts now, with their wet tyres on, head back to the end of the dummy grid, and this, ladies and gentlemen, epitomises what has been the situation here for the last 2 days. Every time it rains, 5 minutes later it stops raining, the wind picks up and the track dries. Now, on your screens you can see the Rotax Club, the restaurant area just to the right hand side. There is some frantic activity going on as the Bahraini team get that Khaled Najjar's kart, number 101, going through. There's, looks like, the Team Chile entry of drivers up. That's Vicente Garcia. That's number 125. You can see Vicente even helping to put his slick tyres back under the kart trolley. Now, every driver then has to go back onto the dummy grid, past the gate. You see the official there with the sort of bar. That's to make sure the rear width of the kart is correct. Everyone wants to get to the front of the grid, so the drivers sprint down to sort of hold their position while the mechanics wheel the karts down on the trolley. Now, on the right-hand side of the grid, you can see number 147. That is Ireland's Jack McLaughlin. So Ireland's Jack McLaughlin there on the right-hand side of your screen, just behind the number 103 kart of Boaz Maximov. Boaz, a top 20 finisher, the Dutchman, in last year's Grand Finals. On the left-hand side, you're looking at a screen, number 109, Jakub Gasparovic from Slovakia. He celebrated a birthday earlier this year. There's Boaz, the Team Netherlands driver. You can see that the Dutch race suit seems a little bit dirty, which tells me that Boaz has had an off earlier this week. But don't worry about that. Hopefully he's not going to have an off there. And you can see he's on slick tyres, so he has decided not to change, and that is the frantic problem. There's Gasparovic on slicks as well. So we are going to have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, with some drivers on slicks and others on wets. Yesterday was a mechanic's worst nightmare. Brand new wet tyres on kart number 129. That's Serbia's Uros Bogdanic. The mechanics sometimes were changing tyres 2 or 3 times in the holding area as the rain stopped and started. There's Jack McLaughlin getting some last words of advice from his mechanic, Matt Cooley, and he's on wet tyres. I think you'll find that some of the less experienced drivers, there is Sebastian Mins, who has got a lot of experience, and he's been very, very quick. His mechanic just sits him in the kart, the Team UK driver, the Union flag on the sleeves of his race suit. A real mix of wet weather. Now, the rain is still falling out of the commentary box window. The rain is still falling, but the track is not completely drenched. It's very slippery, but it's not completely drenched. This qualifying session will be 8 minutes long, and in that time, this track here in Portimão can dry out very, very quickly. You can see the different coloured tarmacs on your screens there, so that not every part of the circuit has completely been lost to the weather yet. It's going to be very, very interesting to see who has gambled and who has gambled correctly. Now, just to give you a quick idea of the layout here, on the left-hand side, the big building with the glass is the second story. That's the restaurant area. You have the Rotax timing building at the centre, the spectator balcony. Underneath that, that is the technical scrutineering area. That's where all the fuel tanks are held. That is where Paul Klassen and Ernie Salmon and his team are doing all the scrutineering checks. The centre of your screen, that 2-story building with the glass windows, that is the Rotax Club for all the national distributors and VIPs. And then to the right-hand side, you have the Rotax offices. But this is Minimax, and this is by Praga IPK. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to find out very, very quickly whether slick tyres or wet tyres are the way forward. Once you're out on track, you have no time to come in and change tyres. This is the odd numbered, so 36 drivers, odd numbered drivers out on circuit. I think that the wet tyres, oh, we've got a spinner already just understeering off, and that would be one driver, I'm sure, on slick tyres, trying to read through the mist there. Number 15, that possibly could have been Nikhilesh Raju, the Indian driver. Let's have a look once again, under braking, and you can see driver gets on the brakes, and it is the number 155 kart of Kilesh Raju, and just rather than plough into the driver in front of him, he just has to turn right, the back end steps out. Luckily he doesn't make contact, but he's now realizing just how slippery this circuit can get. Through turn number 1, flat out in these Minimax karts. These drivers 11, 12, sometimes 13 years old. Some of the younger drivers just 10, so 10, 11 and 12 years old generally down the hill, and you can see the drivers moving around. That very distinctive driving style was Sebastian Mins. You can see with the bright orange crash helmet. Now that distinctive driving style that Sebastian has got will help in these conditions, as the drivers have to try and move around the kart just to help with a little bit of weight distribution. This is the first flying lap for all drivers. See there through turns 8 and 9, understeering through that double apex left-hander. That mojo barrier you can see on the outside of the corner, that will collect many a go-kart before this event is over. Down the hill to the very, very bottom part of the circuit at turn number 11. Now the climb up through 12 and 13. We're still climbing, Turn 14. Now one more corner, you're flat out from this point on. This last corner is flat out. Nice wide runoff area down across the main straight, and it is Luca Scales from France in kart number 135 who goes fastest of all, 1 minute 19.154. Sebastian Mins from Team UK goes second fastest at 1 minute 19.199. Now of course there is only half the runners, so it's not going to be the definitive pole sitter will be decided in this particular session, but all the drivers in session 2 will know what time they have to beat. If track conditions change, as we look at a problem there for a driver, centre screen, just getting the back end out, 1 or 2 drivers running very wide, up over the curb. That was Sebastian Mins, and he just holds onto it in kart number 167, using the curbs to help turn the karts. Rasmus Koskinen, purple first sector for the Finnish driver in kart 107. Koskinen at the moment is 4th. Kasper Nilsson from Denmark puts in a purple middle sector. 3rd fastest overall at the moment. It's Scales, Mins, Nissen, Koskinen, Saranki from Finland, then Jack McLaughlin from Ireland. Christopher El Fagali from Lebanon is 7th fastest. I'm looking down to see where the drivers, well, we saw Boaz Maximov on slick tyres, and Boaz's best time is a 1 minute 26.0. That compares to a 1 minute 18.6. So wet tyres are the way to go. Although I'm looking at the puddle outside the commentary box window, and of course it has just about stopped raining. 3.5 minutes to go. I think there was only about 3 or 4 drivers that went out on wets, on slicks rather. Maximov, Bogdanic, Kobakidze, that's Mate Kobakidze from Georgia, and Adam Anderson from Denmark. Those drivers understandably right at the bottom on the timing screens at the moment, but will that change as track conditions change? And track conditions have been changing minute by minute for the last 2.5 days. Koskinen fastest, Scales second, then Mins, Nissen, El Fagali, McLaughlin, Strella, Soranki, Bazire. That is Louis Bazire from France, then Jakob Assam in kart number 143 from Austria. And El Fagali goes fastest in kart number 137. Lebanon's Christopher El Fagali, and you can see 3 wide action there going into turn number 2. That's not going to help any of those drivers. Will they get themselves sorted out by the braking zone at turn number 3? Just about, although none of those 3 drivers are going to set a good lap time. You can see struggling to stay within track limits here in the wet weather. Sebastian Mins goes fastest of all, 1 minute 18.222. Looking down, Boaz Maximov, Uros Bogdanic, their times are improving. It's now just 4 seconds between slicks and wets. We've got 2 minutes to go. Bogdanic and Maximov all going quicker, so slick tyres, now they've got them up to speed. The rain has all but stopped. I don't think it's going to dry out enough to make an impact in the next 1 minute 30 seconds, however. Mins on another quick lap, so is Christopher El Fagali. They head up the hill. There is Sebastian Mins, that lean that he has. That will help with weight distribution, especially in the rain. We're looking at 167, Sebastian Mins. Coming out of the final corner, you can see the driver in front head down. Oh, yellow flag waving at Marshall post 10. That'll be at the bottom of the hill. Down the main straight, Mins doesn't improve his best time. Rasmus Koskinen goes second quickest, 1 minute 18.30, just 800ths slower than provisional poleman Sebastian Mins. There's a bit of jostling going on into turn number 3 there, and you can see that's Team Poland getting a good run at the inside. It's Mins, Koskinen, Skeles, El Fagali, Nissen, Vanegas Pinzon, Juan Sebastian Vanegas Pinzon from Colombia is 6th, then Tom Strella from Latvia, Jack McLaughlin is 8th, Louis Basseret is 9th, and João Pereira from Portugal rounding out the top 10. You would expect the Portuguese contingent to know the track conditions very well indeed, and that is coming to fruition as Pereira puts his kart into the top 10. The drivers on slick tyres are improving, but they're still 3 seconds a lap slower than the drivers on wets. Cross the line. That goes Adam Anderson. He's 35th in kart number 115, 1 minute 22.649. We have 0.6 of a second separating the top 8. The top 8 at the moment. Lebanon, Christopher El Fagali, just crossing your screens there. He goes to the top of the charts, and he takes the... No, he doesn't take the checkered flag. So Fagali will get another lap in. He's going to need that lap because Lucas Skeles from France in kart 135 pips his time, 1 minute 17.619 seconds. It's Skeles, El Fagali, Koskinen, Mins, Nissen, Garcia, Estrella, and Vanegas Pinzon, the top 8. McLaughlin is 9th. Fion Shi from Team USA pops up into the top 10. But Christopher El Fagali is the only driver yet to take the checkered flag. He hasn't got anyone to help, but can he wrestle provisional pole position back from France's Lucas Skeles? Judging by his first sector time, I don't think he can. But he's going to try. Oh, he puts in a purple middle sector. El Fagali in kart number 137. He completed his last lap just before the checkered flag came out. He's going to be the only kart coming out of this top turn now. Here he comes. Can El Fagali go back to top spot? Yes, he can. 1 minute 17.497. He timed that absolutely perfectly. He started his last lap 2 seconds before the checkered flag came out. Everybody else had to come in, but Christopher El Fagali, Lebanon's Christopher El Fagali, is your session 1 leader, 1 minute 17.497. Now that might not be good enough for overall pole position. It very much depends on what the weather does for session number 2, but your first group in Minimax, led by Lebanon's Christopher El Fagali, gets the track to himself. Then it's Lucas Skeles for France, Rasmus Koskinen for Finland, Sebastian Mins for the United Kingdom, Kasper Nissen from Denmark, Vincenzi Garcia from Chile, Tom Strella from Latvia, Juan Sebastian Vanegas Pinzon for Colombia, Jack McLaughlin for Ireland, Fion Shi from Team USA. There is a look at the drivers, and there's a happy number 111. That's a happy Danish driver, Kasper Nissen, who's just realised he's put his kart P5. There we go, that's what we want to see. Thumbs up. That tells me that during practice, Kasper has not been a regular top 5 runner, but he is in time qualifying. That means that even if the second group go a lot faster, the chances are we'll use the 101% rule, and the drivers from this session will wind up overall in the combined order, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, etc., or 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th. So Casper Nissen almost guaranteed a top 10 effort in qualifying, as there is a look at some of the Mojo branding that surrounds this fantastic 1600-metre circuit. The drivers absolutely love this track. Christopher El Fagali, 1 minute 17.479 by just over a tenth of a second from Francis Lucas Scales. Koskinen, Mins, Nissen, Garcia, Strella, Vanigas, Pinson, McLaughlin. Well, the luck of the Irish came home to roost in that one, because McLaughlin puts it in a top 10. Fianchi from the United States, Gustav Bonk from Brazil, and what a surprise. Well, Nikhilesh Raju from India. We saw Nikhilesh having a spin on the opening lap of qualifying. Well, he comes back and puts the number 155 card in 12th position. Luis Alejandro Umana Sanchez from Colombia is 13th. Louis Basseret from France is 14th. Joao Pereira from Portugal 15th. Minchai Lee from South Korea is 16th. And from Kyrgyzstan, Dmitry Matrenin in 17th. The top 18 rounded out by Finland's Juso Soranki. Now we look back to 19th position. That is Austria's Jacob Assam, Aleksander Rogowski from Poland, and his countryman Franisek Paluziak. Then it's Jakub Gasparovic, Gabriel Vega Neda, Khaled Najjar from Bahrain, Alexander Van Meeuwen from Belgium, Jago Klempen from Peru, then Chen Kang Tseng from Chinese Taipei in the island of Taiwan. The only driver from Georgia here this year, Mate Kobakidze, is 28th, followed by Patrick Mikalik, Marlon DeSalvo, Boaz Maximov. Well, the slick tyre runners got to within, even though Boaz is 31st overall, they were 3 seconds off the pace of the wet tyre runners. Paul Schön, disappointment for Paul Schön from Switzerland, again another driver on slick tyres, only 32nd. Then Uros Bogdanic, Adam Anderson, Mats van Rooyen, and Nicholas Casarino round out your top 30, or your 36 drivers from first of 2 Minimax qualifying sessions. The second one will be coming up very shortly after this quick break.
Why do you come here? Is this your career?
Or is it all about fun? A chance to get away and leave it all behind?
Or do you chase your personal best? Challenging yourself over and over again? Why do you come here?
Maybe you're here to collect moments. Good ones. And not so good ones.
Or you can't afford mistakes because you want that victory. It's all about this one moment when the hard work finally pays off.
This is the place that brings us closer to the people who share our story. Whoever we are.
Whatever we're here for. Racing is who we are.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we have to thank Basti Funk and Michael Houndschmidt for some of the fantastic films are produced by Rotax. We'll see several more of them as the week progresses, especially in the studio show. It's what makes this event so colourful, like no other in the world of karting. Once again, 36 Minimax drivers. These are the even-numbered karts, and looking down the dummy grid, you can see that the weapon of choice for nearly everybody, if not every single driver, are wet Mojo tyres. Out we go onto the circuit. Well, nearly everyone goes out onto the circuit. Number 154, deciding that's Jakub Kubera from the Czech Republic. Well, Jakub, you ran all the way down to the front of the grid and then sat there and let everyone go past you. Well, there must be a reason for it. We may never know what it is, but there must be one. Now, drivers jostling to get into position. This is the outlap, and every driver wants to find a drafting partner, a buddy they can work with. See the rain on the screen, although it is not raining now. The rain has stopped, and if you look at the flags at the top of the Rotax grandstand, well, the wind has also died down. Now that's going to help the spectators to take off the wind chill factor, but it's not going to help the circuit, because the circuit will now take longer to dry. That little bit of residual moisture, you can see the green paint on the exit of the curve is very wet, but the actual racing surface is far more porous. The rain does dissipate quicker, but it's been so windy here that the track surface has dried very, very, very quickly. You can see how exposed we are here. The kart track, Formula 1 circuit, the massive grandstand in the background. Now the flags pick up a little bit more, so there is a stiff breeze in the air. If you're wondering why I'm sounding somewhat hoarse, as one driver goes very, very wide, there was a small matter of a Welsh football match last night that I felt I had to watch, with varying bits of accompanying fluids, and various vocal cords got exercised several times during last night's match. As we are in the paddock watching the FIFA World Cup, as well as this karting event. It's a gathering of 60 nations. Everyone's got their national race suits on, flags in the driver's tent as yellow flag comes out. So of course, national fervour is very much in the air, as it is South Africa's Caleb Odendaal, who is quickest early on in kart number 102. On this lap, though, Max Sederski in kart number 150 for the Netherlands, and Harry Bartle for Team UK are putting in purple sectors, so the order will change. Bartle in kart number 138, who's gone out right at the front of this pack, 1 minute 19.103, but it's Greece's Vasileios Malamas who goes quicker than Bartle. Vasileios Malamis, 1 minute 19.052. There is the number 138 kart of Harry Bartle. Now, Bartle has been quick in nearly every single practice session, but he comes up the hill out of turn number 5 through turn 6. Now we're looking at turn number 7. He flashes left, gets the kart set up, stays off that red paint, going into turn 8 and 9. Now we begin to go downhill. You can see the kart sliding around underneath Harry as he heads down towards turn 10 and 11, running very, very wide off the usual dry racing line. That's where the grip is in the wet, because of course all the rubber that's been laid down, when that rubber on the racing line gets wet, the oils come up and it's very, very slippery indeed, so you stay off the traditional dry racing line when it's rainy. You'll see him over the curb, using a lot of curb there. That tries to help turn the kart. Bartle, this is a quick lap. It's a quick lap as well for Jacob Ashcroft, one of the other British drivers in kart number 122. We cross the line. Bartle improves, 1 minute 18.279. He demotes Malamis down to second. Fausto Arnardo from Argentina goes third. Kai Johnson is fourth. Travis Teo from Malaysia is fifth. Ashcroft, watch for number 122. He's going to come across the line in this pack of karts. Jacob Ashcroft, we wait. He goes second with 1 minute 18.839. Bartle, though, is on another flying lap. One driver at the right-hand side of your screen comes in to the pits. Can't quite see who that is. I think it might be Team Canada's Edward Kennedy with a problem. Now, we'll try and pick up Harry Bartle. He's right at the front of the pack, all on his own. He's heading down towards turn number 10 at the very bottom of the circuit now, but Jacob Ashcroft in that pack of karts we're looking at on our screens, number 122, look for the dark blue race suit with the Union flag colours on the sleeves. Ashcroft has gone purple in sector number 1. That means that he's not struggling to breathe, but he has gone purple because that is the fastest sector of anybody in this session. You can see that the clock is on him as he heads up split time number 2. It's decent. No, he's lost ground. He's lost a lot of ground through sector number 2. So that lap has gone away from number 122, Jacob Ashcroft. And Kai Johnson for Team USA goes third in kart number 132. There is, down the hill, I believe that's the number 138 kart, the blue race suit. That is Harry Bartle. Yes, indeed it is. Some of these drivers have got their wet suits on over their national team colours, which makes it harder to identify. But Bartle, you can see with the deep pink purple, and we'll get a chance to see it, but maybe at the end of this session you'll see that Harry, on the back of his crash helmet, has got a picture of his dog Rodney. And every single interview that Harry does remember to thank his mechanic, Big Stu, but also thanks his dog Rodney, who I'm told is missing Harry greatly. But anyway, that's another story. Across the line, can Harry Bartle improve? He can. 1 minute 18.0, and he's gone 6/10 quicker than anybody else. And of course, I'll remind you once again, ladies and gentlemen, drivers don't bring their own equipment to this. They are given, there's a big kart raffle. You would have seen the pictures, nearly 400 karts lined up on the main straight here at Portimão. Drivers scan their passes and were given a kart at random. And that kart has an engine. They're not allowed to tune it or adjust it. It is as it is, comes out of the box. So the idea is parity and equality. The chassis partners are very strict on what adjustments you're allowed to make. You're not even allowed to bring your own tools and spare parts or anything like that. All the drivers do, they bring a driver, mechanic, your crash helmet, your race suit, your boots, your gloves, and your talent. That is what this event is about. It's Bartle, Malamis, Johnson, Ashcroft, Arnaldo, Ferreira, Alwajirade, Pradier, Travis Teo, Toby Gale, Tiger Tezuka, and Zain El Hamasani, the driver from Egypt, representing the United Arab Emirates this year. You're thinking, well, if a driver is from one country but he's representing another, how is that possible? The drivers' flags, their nation, is based on their license. So Zain El Hamasani, born in Egypt, but now based in Dubai. He runs with a UAE license, so therefore he represents the UAE here in this event. It's not done by the country of birth, it's done on where your license is from. So Harry Bartle and Jacob Ashcroft now goes to P2. They're trying to match a 1 minute 17.497, which is what Christopher El Fagali did in the first session. Checkered flag goes out. Bartle is going to get an extra lap in. Bartle, he doesn't need it though. He can save his tyres. Everybody else takes the checkered flag. Harry Bartle, this lap is only for outright pole position. Can he get it? He hasn't taken the checkered flag yet. He will come onto your screen. So just as Christopher El Fagali did in the first group, Bartle, by virtue of just getting off the grid and going out at the front, he does get an extra lap in. Will this take him to outright pole position? He needs to find 0.6 of a second. The answer is no, it doesn't. But Bartle still leads session number 2, and he leads it by half a second over his fellow British driver, Jacob Ashcroft from Greece. And it's great to see such a big Greek team here. It's one of their biggest teams we've had in many a year in the Grand Finals. It's Vasileios Malamis in third position. Now we look as the drivers come in. There is Alois Girardet in cart number 134, getting out of his cart. His father, Jean-Pierre Girardet, was one of the contenders in the Mojo tyre changing competition. We'll mention that a bit later on. We look down, there is the very distinctive black, yellow, green and red Team Lithuania race suit, and that is of driver Arnas Kaplikas. Arnas Kaplikas finished that session 17th fastest. Number 166 cart, just going through your screens there, that is Zain El Homosani. Here we are, the provisional Minimax even numbered results. Harry Bartle and Jacob Ashcroft lead at 1-2 for Team GB. Then it is Vasileios Malamis for Greece, Kai Johnson from Team USA. Fausto Arnado, well, it's about time that Argentina had something to smile about today after losing to Saudi Arabia in the football. We have two drivers from Saudi Arabia who are very, very happy in the paddock. Fausto Arnado is 5th. Alfonso Ferreira is 6th for Portugal. Then a pair of Frenchmen, Alois Girardet and Thomas Pradier from France. Travis Teo, a great result for Malaysia and a great result for Team Thailand. Toby Gale in top 10. Then it's Tiger Tezuka, Zain El Homosani, Ryusa Sawada from Japan. So Japan have 2 drivers in the top 13. From Argentina, Bautista Panetta is 14th. The fast lady from Austria, Yvonne Simeonova, is 15th. Then Marcel Zibo, Arnas Kaplikas and Max Sadursky from the Netherlands. That's your top 18 in the even numbered drivers. Then it is Zach Tucker from Team in cart number 118 from Team New Zealand. Zdenek Babicek from the Czech Republic. Gage Korn from the United States. Adam Kaji from South Africa. Lucas de Longchamp from Canada. Jakub Kubera from the Czech Republic. Alexis Bayerjon from Canada. Ruben Gutierrez from Mexico. Corey Carson from Team Australia. Then Antoine Lemieux. Philippe Reis. Patricio Goyado from Chile, Jigen Yoshida from Japan, Caleb Odendahl from South Africa, last year's Micromax winner, Nikita Lubimov from Estonia, only 33rd, Brando Badoni 34th, Dinia Islamov from Kyrgyzstan, and Edward Kennedy, after only completing 1 lap, rounds out the 36 carts in that even number field. So, Jen Wade, what have you got for us in the studio?
Well, Henry, I'm here actually with a lady that probably could help us to warm up every day, and I know we were doing it this morning. Debbie Hanson from Deb Sports. Welcome to the Grand Finals, Deb.
Thank you.
Now, of course, I know you're accustomed to the Grand Finals because we actually met some years ago.
Yeah, I think in 2016 was the first year.
Yeah. And of course, I know you had a couple of superstars on your list, well, more than a couple. But one that comes to mind, of course, Robert De Haan. And I know you were with him on track in the F4 last weekend, but what a spectacular young driver. I mean, we've seen him twice on the Grand Finals podium. And of course, he was the guy crossing the line with his hand in the air saying, "I've done it in Brazil 2018.
Yes, it was an amazing event in Brazil. We entered in 2016 on the Micromax. And also in that year, we finished 2nd on the podium. And 2017, he was 5th, I think. But 2018, we came there, and he stepped the first day on the podium, and he said to me, "I'm going to win this." And everybody said, "No, don't say that, don't say that." And but we went through the week, and it was really crazy. He was every time on top on the sheets, on the time sheets. And yeah, then we were there on the final. I think we've started from pole position. Yeah. And he led the whole race. And he made a little mistake in the last lap before the last corner. So we were thinking, oh no. But he kept it, and we won the Grand Finals. And I think that was for him the breakthrough also to international go-karting.
And of course, you're here for a different reason this weekend. You're not actually supporting a driver. But I know it's important. We've seen you up there on the podium helping everybody, well, mostly the young drivers, even one of the medical staff I saw up there, thanks to Henry Baudet, on the podium doing her warm-up. after lunch. What are you doing and what do you do? And of course, you're here if anyone has any questions or needs any help. I know you are so accredited in all different things, so maybe just give us a little snapshot.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot like a sport coach. I do mental coaching, personal training, driver coaching, and I also look with the drivers on lifestyle coaching, so also off track. For me, it's important that it's not only on track, all in balance, but also before they go to racing or to a track, that they are in balance. So also with school, lifestyle, with eating, sleeping, why the things are really important.
And also, I guess you can help the parents a little bit to get used to this lifestyle when their young kids are saying, I want to go racing. And they're here at the track saying, what am I doing? What is this world? It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's really a way of life. And I think the most parents, when they're starting in Mini or Micromax with their kids, they don't know what is going to happen. So yeah, also in that I guiding also the parents. It's not only the kids, but for sure also the parents.
Of course, you've been a racer yourself, Deb, years ago at really a competitive level. Also, your brother Joey. So you know it really well. I know you've got your little academy and you're doing stuff online as well, helping drivers all around the world.
Yes, I'm also doing my personal training and mental coaching online because the drivers are all over the world. And actually COVID brought me also doing the online sessions.
I was in some of those sessions.
Yes, you joined it, so
Yeah.
it was really cool. And that made it also easier for me afterwards to work with the drivers, and especially on mental factories, to get them better and better in shape, not only physical, but for me the mental part, the mindset and the focus to get the racetrack and be competitive, but also when there are things happening that's not that good, then yeah, you have to help them also. It's not only the good things.
No, that's right, and it's so important. And of course, here this weekend, you've got several sessions. The times are there, but Henry will announce anyway. And in the meantime, if anyone has any questions or needs some help with these things, you can do some activities with them. I know you've got some of those funny game things you've got with you, stretchy bands and all that. But maybe this is something, if people see you, I know you've got your jacket on Deb Sport in the paddock, they're welcome to come up. They can check out your website, contact you as well. You're here just to support the event, and Rotax are extremely happy to have your time and you here. So thank you so much. We're going to watch another session. I know you're eagerly watching because there's some of the kids out there that you are supporting here because they've asked you or you're interested to help them. So make sure you keep watching. If you want to join the sessions, Henry Baudet in the morning at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
We'll
and
be
I
there.
have to say, how can I say this delicately? Deb gave me a really good workout this morning and at lunchtime. It was a lot of fun, but it's in all seriousness, what a fantastic way for Rotax to bring somebody in to try and help the drivers. Every exercise that we do on the stage is specifically designed to get drivers into shape to go racing. And like I said, it was a lot of fun. Don't worry about whether it's on stage and what you look like, because it's all about preparing you for the biggest race of your season. Tomorrow morning and tomorrow lunchtime, we'll be back on stage for that. A big thank you to Deb, and a great insight for Rotax to bring Deb into the event to help us all get fitness. My calves are hurting a lot as the engines sound. The final time today, we have got karts on circuit. It's time for qualifying in DD2 Masters. So, out on circuit, 32 Masters. Like I said, if you are watching from any of the following countries, you've got a driver in this session. Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Malaysia, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Poland, Slovakia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Switzerland, the UAE, and the United States of America. 36 drivers. We've cut 2 years ago. We cut Masters down from 72 to 36 to allow more Minimax drivers into the event. So all these drivers are guaranteed a place in the final. This is where some of our most respected competitors, some of the legends of this event compete, including the likes of Derek Wang, Antti Ollikainen, who are in their 10th and 11th Grand Finals respectively. There are drivers here that have competed since the very beginning. Jan Andreasen is back this year. Of course, sadly this year we're missing Christoph Adams. Scott Campbell's here in the paddock, but Christoph Adams, who has had more Grand Final appearances than just about anybody else, he is not here. And it's a first of our onboard cameras. So this is Troy Bretherton, Team Australia's Troy Bretherton, and you can see going into turn number 3, he's got a group of karts in front, will stay on board for the while, down the hill, through turn number 4, over that curb, stays off the curbs, those slippery red and white painted curbs, bottom part of the circuit, turn number 5, now uphill, and yellow flags waving, so he'll ease off, try and see where the car is in Struth at the side. There it is on the left hand side of the screen. He flashes past. We're doing in excess of 120 kilometers an hour as we turn left for turn 8 and turn 9, that double apex hander, left-hander. Now down the hill towards turn 10, over the curbs. We're going to run wide going into turn number 11, off the racing line slightly, down to the bottom part of the circuit. Hard on the brakes, leave the door open for a move potentially. Oh, he clatters the curb. That's not going to help his exit up the hill through turn number 11. We're actually using the curbs to help turn the cart. Now, final 2 corners, we turn right, and it's flat out from this point on, through the final turn. Oh, gets a little bit of a slide, over the brow, and down to complete the lap. Troy Bretherton, 20th fastest at the moment. Watch for Germany's Dennis Thum. Germany's Dennis Thum is on a very quick lap. There he goes, Thum, 1 minute 13.904. Antti Ollikainen, Finlive from Slovakia is 3rd. Then it's Kristaps Gasparovic. Kristaps Gasparovic, his dad, Eric Gasparovic, raced in this championship last year. Kristaps actually beat his dad to the ticket. His dad has had to make do with being a mechanic for fellow Latvian driver Henrich Gruber this year. And Eric's was saying that Kristaps' son is also racing now as well. So Granddad is mechanicking, but I think Grampy wants to get back in a go-kart and try and qualify for next year. It's Thum, Ollikainen, Konopka, Gasparovic, and Gasparovic goes quickest of all. Well, Kristaps, you're now proving why you did beat your dad for the Latvian ticket. Henrich Gruber, second driver for Latvia, is also now in the top 6. So it's Latvia, Slovakia, Fernando Guzzi from Brazil, Dennis Thum from Germany, Antti Ollikainen from Finland, Gruber from Latvia, Derek Wang, Captain America, in kart number 523 is there. Now we're on board with Troy Bretherton, following the number 535 kart of the UAE's Tony Hogg. Makes a move going into turn number 3, through turn number 4. Tony Hogg is 32nd at the moment. Daniel Schollenberger has had a problem and is down in 36th position, sadly. I think he may have lost a lap time, Schollenberger. That's not great for the driver that finished last year in the top 10. He finished 4th last year, the driver of kart number 526. We can see the circuit beginning to dry out. There's Peter Kutai going out your screens, up the hill. It looks like Japan's, oh no, South Korea's, sorry, Idum Cho on your screen. We cross the line. It's Martin Konopka, 1 minute 13.442. Fast at the moment, less than 3 minutes to go. Thum is 2nd, Wang is 3rd, Gasparovic is 4th, Tankevicius is 5th, Martinas Tankevicius for Lithuania is 5th rather. Then Paul Louveau from France in kart number 518, 11th last year. Henrich Gruber 7th. Louveau goes quickest. Louveau, 1 minute 13.350, goes fastest of all. Oh, and a driver running wide there. And we've got Daniel Schollenberger off the side of the circuit. You can see the Team Germany race suit. So Schollenberger is 30th fastest overall. And we'll have a look. Who was that running wide? Dark race suit. just misses the apex of turn number 2, and he's like, stay out of the gravel. You can see who that was with the black race suit. It may have been Alexandre Gautier in cart number 525, the dark race suit. We'll double check that in a while. Our camera cart, Troy Bretherton is 31st. Fernando Guzzi on a quick lap for Team Brazil. It's Guzzi now into provisional pole position, 1 minute 12.982. Guzzi from Konopka, Gasparovic, Wang, Louveau, Gruber, Takevicius, Tum, Vivien Cusack-Pico, the brother of DD2 driver Nicola Pico. Claudio Pagliarani is 10th. Matt Hamilton for New Zealand's 11th. Horacio Torres from Chile 12th. Mateus Rodriguez 13th. Antiola Kainen down to 14th. Then it's Jan Andreasen, Joe Kuna, Gil Bronda, Eugene Britt, Michael Hitchcock, and Peter Kutai. Peter Kutai from Hungary, who took Antonio Pizzolia's place when Antonio decided to race elsewhere. This week, sadly, we are down one Formula 1 driver, but we still have another, Rubens Barrichello, who will be on track in DD2 tomorrow. And Kristaps Gasparovic on a good first sector. He's third fast at the moment in kart 533 for Team Latvia. There is Team New Zealand's Matt Hamilton in kart 510 going up the hill. Hamilton is 11th at the moment, but this is a personal best lap. You can see the black and white Team Kiwi race suit across the line. Hamilton improves, does he? He improves his time, but not a place. In fact, he loses a place, down to 11th now for Matt Hamilton, as Guzzi from Brazil, Gasparovic from Latvia, Konopka, Pagliarani from Italy, Derek Wang is 5th, Paul Louveau on a quick lap, purple middle sector for France is Paul Louveau, and he goes fastest, 1 minute 12.567, just as the checkered flag comes out. Now, everybody will start taking the checkered flag next time around. The drivers on your screen are on their final flying lap. Pagliarani has gone 5th fastest. He takes the checkered flag. It's still Louveau, Guzzi and Gasparovic, but they're not on a quick lap. The driver that is the driver of kart number 505, 4th place overall, Martin Konopka from Slovakia. We wait to see. There he is on your screens. He's coming up the hill. He's done a personal best middle sector and a personal best first sector. Can he improve? Yes, he does to second. Can't quite depose Paul Louveau, but Konopka goes second. Now we wait for Derek Wang to cross the line. He is 6th. Antiola Kainen will be next up. He's 9th at the moment, but he's not on a particularly good lap. And I'm looking down at drivers who have yet to take the checkered flag. Juan Camilo Duque from Colombia goes into 11th position. But nobody else looks like they're going to threaten France's Paul Louveau. 1 minute 12.567 seconds by a quarter of a second. France's Louveau takes it. Then it's Konopka, Guzzi, Gasparovic, Troy Bretherton. You can see our camera cart. He is only 26th, but that means that tomorrow Troy continues to wear our camera. There will be action aplenty in the first DD2 Masters heat. As you can see, the pictures brought to you by Kart Data TV on the Rotax Karting YouTube channel, as the provisional qualifying results, subject of course to post-race scrutineering. There we can see there's Claudio Pagliarani getting out of his cart, and he's going over to speak to his mechanic. He's happy with a top 5 position. Looking down, there's number 504, that is Masanori Kato from Japan, and he is 34th quickest. There is in the wetsuit, you can't see this, number 530 cart, that's Sławomir Morański from Poland going through. Sławomir disappointed, 29th fastest overall. There's Eugene Brits, the South African driver. DD2 Masters, these are for drivers 31 years and older. The number 528, looking backwards here, that is Udim Cho from South Korea, and Udim finishes 36th with a time of 1 minute 16.772 seconds. Less than 1 second separating the top 11 drivers. There's Eugene, and there is idea of just how stiff the wind is, here is a look at your provisional Rotax Max DD2 Masters qualifying results. From France, Paul Louveau, fastest from Martin Konopka, Fernando Guzzi and Krzysztof Kapsparovitz, with Claudio Pagliarani from Italy rounding up the top 5. Derek Wang from Team USA is 6th, from Latvia Henris Gruber is 7th, and from Lithuania Martinas Tankevicius is 8th. Antti Olakainen from Finland is 9th, and Dennis Thurm from Germany rounds out the top 10, ahead of Colombia's Juan Camilo Duque and France's Vivien Cusack-Pico. That is 2 Frenchmen in the top 12. Switzerland's Michael Hitchcock is 13th, then Mateus Rodriguez from Argentina 14th, and the returning Matt Hamilton, his first Grand Finals appearance since 2018, he is 15th. Horacio Torres is 16th, Igor Mukin from Kyrgyzstan is 17th, and João Cunha from Brazil is 18th. Both Brazilian drivers in the race in the top 18. Gil Bronda from the Netherlands is 19th, and Charles Seguin from France rounds out your top 20. Javier Campo from Spain is 21st, and Pinit Sai from Estonia is 22nd. Veteran Jan Andreasen is 23rd, with South Africa's Eugene Britz 24th, and last minute entry Peter Guitai happy 25th. Troy Bretherton from Australia is 26th, followed by Nick Irwan, Nick Inzani. This is Nick Inzani's first Grand Finals appearance in 20 years. He last qualified for this event all the way back in Langkawi, Malaysia in 2002. Welcome back, Nick. Fabio Kiełka from Belgium is next, with Sławomir Morański from Poland and Jared Freeston from Team Canada rounding out the top 30. Anthony Hogg from Dubai is 31st. Daniel Schollenberger will have a lot of work to do from 32nd on the grid after his failure in qualifying. Kart failure, not driver failure. Javier Gonzalez Alcant from Mexico is 33rd. Masanori Kato is 34th. Alexander Gaultier from Canada 35th. And Udum Cho from South Korea rounds out your provisional starting lineup for DD2 Masters, as track activity comes to a close here today, but our broadcast does not come to a close, because as we watch the flags of some of the 60 nations that make up the most colourful, the most spectacular event in the world of karting, our studio show, you can see our studio there on the right of your screen, now in the centre of your screen, that will be brought to you by Jen Wade and myself coming up next. Well, in about 20 minutes time. Please don't go away. Thank you very much for joining us here, the Rotax karting family. We got together in Bahrain last year. There were 1 or 2 members missing due to restrictions. 60 nations have gathered. The Rotax family is back together, and the biggest party in karting is just getting started. We have got 4 more days of action to bring you interviews, studio shows, guests, guest commentators, lots of films, lots of fun, and lots of fantastic kart racing. Please don't go away. The studio show with Jen Wade and myself is up very shortly.
Mountain beasts for off-the-hook riding. Virtually unstoppable crossover sleds. A trail legend. But the question is, have you got what it takes? We are Lynx. Are you?
rock and roll. Let's hit it.
Glad we got up early for this ride.
Fire up, let's roll.
Look who finally caught up.
Awesome, we should do this every week.
Can-Am was never just about building a motorcycle. It was about doing things our own way. A passionate group of engineers, riders, and rebels. Creating the unexpected. Pushing the limits of what's actually possible. If Can-Am can take that DNA that my father built into the very first motorcycle in 1973, then get ready to ride.
For the kids to be here, it's huge emotionally on them. It's a life experience. It's huge, you know, where would you get to travel to Bahrain normally for most of the drivers here now? One thing I keep telling all of my drivers is our goal was to be here, so now we're here, let's just enjoy it.
My favorite part of the track is the flowy section. We have turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, till turn 5. I mean, it's like a roller coaster. It's really nice.
I feel like, oh my God, I'm going so fast. I want to go faster, faster, faster. My heart beats really fast. It gives me goosebumps, but that tickling feeling in my heart is what I like about the speed.
there are 72 drivers. We have 3 heats, and yes, it feels quite nice to be racing with other champions.
I think, you know, the Rotax program, for years now, it's been the best program out there. You take the engine out of the box and off you go and you're competitive, and that's what we want when we're teaching drivers. We don't want to have to question the go-kart or question the engine or anything. We want to focus on the driving, so that's why the Rotax, I think, is #1 across the world.
I always look out for #1, but I also appreciate the other drivers on the grid, because what's the point of looking out for #1 if there are no other drivers?
For the final race, anything could happen, but I'm always aiming for P1.
Everyone wants to win, but there's 72 other drivers that want to win as well, so let's just enjoy it, and if they're having fun, then they'll be competitive.
The road to the 2021 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals has been full of twists and turns, but at long last, a familiar sound is in the air, the Rotax roar. After the silence, out of the darkness come 378 brand new chassis and Rotax engines heading towards a new future. And joining the family as part of the most spectacular sight in karting is our newest member, the Rotax E20. The smiles are hidden, but they are still there, as are the hallmarks of the Grand Finals: parity, fairness, and equality of equipment. Some things never change. Surrounded by this new, intoxicating, mesmerizing kingdom, our hearts begin to beat a little faster. The differences in 2021 are night and day, double the challenge. A new track, one that is beloved by all who tackle it. Scorching desert sun and cool Arabian nights. To be a champion, you must master both. Some will shine brightly, others will fade to black. After nearly 800 days, the Rotax family is back together. Our international bond resumes. Each driver is connected, but their goal is singular: to beat every other champion and become the best in the world. 5 long days and nights of practice, qualifying and racing have passed, and for the finalists, one last check. Every nut, bolt and wire fastened, secured and ready for the final test. Who will stand tallest and conquer the Rotax world? For the winners, the long road to Bahrain was worth it. All the trials, tests and tribulations fade to memory, replaced with the title of Rotax Max Challenge Grand Final Champion. For those who fell short, there's always next year. There will be a next year. Our journey to Bahrain was tough, but BRP Rotax would like to thank everyone who walked it with us.
minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
But my dad brought home like an own-built go-kart, and we used it on the driveway, just driving back and forth in the neighborhood.
A girlfriend of mine asked me if I want to go karting, and I joined her. I had no idea what it was.
It was at a track in Hong Kong, a rental track in Hong Kong. It was the fastest thing ever, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I really want to go back every day.
And I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a really great experience.
I was like 4 or 5 years old, just driving that. It was pretty amazing.
It's just amazing for the E20s to be the first time part of the Grand Finals. I mean, there are 380 cars. That's just a really big event.
I think it's pretty good that we start pretty early with it and can develop it from here. And then we are testing it out and see what the pros and cons are with having the e-carts here.
The support from Rotax really made this first experience for me in the E20 class much easier than I thought it would be. I felt pretty comfortable in this environment. When you step on a gas, it's like, I've never felt torque like that in a racing go-kart before.
It's just immense speed, so the acceleration is just incredible.
When I saw the track on the ground for the first time, I said, wow, okay, this looks really good. I have to say that Brain has actually really delivered on both the Park Fermé and the track as well, and the grandstand and everything.
Very exciting to drive in the E20, and hopefully I'll be on the podium.
Yeah, I'm here to win it. I'm here to win it all. Absolutely, no question about it.
Why do you come here? Is this your career?
Or is it all about fun? A chance to get away and leave it all behind?
Or do you chase your personal best? Challenging yourself over and over again. Why do you come here?
Maybe you're here to collect moments. Good ones. And not so good ones.
Or you can't afford mistakes because you want that victory. It's all about this one moment when the hard work finally pays off.
This is the place that brings us closer to the people who share our story. Whoever we are.
Whatever we're here for. Racing is who we are.
Vedette.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Nice to have you here.
Well, it's a fantastic new setup, and this is one of the new elements. We've had the studio show before, but it's been in the evening. We're going to bring it to you live directly after the race has finished. It's being broadcast in the paddock. And Jen, what a great way to kick off the 23rd running of the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals. We've got a packed show ahead of us this evening.
It's always a packed show. It's just depending on what order it's in, I guess, how packed it is, if it's jam-packed or if it's marmalade-packed.
It's
or
jam, marmalade and peanut butter, PB&J
all together.
packed. That's how packed it is.
It's really packed. In fact, such a packed show that we've got them all packed into our studio here, waiting out of the weather.
Yes.
Exciting afternoon with the qualifying.
See, ladies and gentlemen, it's come to Portugal in November. They said it'll be warm. They said you'll get a tan. They said it'll be nice and sunny. They said, but
it was sunny this morning.
It was for a bit.
I saw it.
It was, but. We've got some great guests lined up. We're going to hear from Ramiro Bitto, the race director here. We're going to hear from DD2 driver Zendarua. He's going to be in the guest studio. We're also going to hear from E20 senior driver Japan's Shota Kitazono, as well as lots of films and information, things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is, and we're going to do this every afternoon, of course, until we get to the finals day with the podium.
Today's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes,
Tuesday,
it is.
Wednesday,
got a few
Thursday,
days.
Friday. 4 shows to do. Lots and lots of guests. We're going to have Rubens Barrichello on one evening. We're going to have drivers from all across the classes, some of the real personalities of the event. We're going to be following some of the storylines, some of the characters that make this event so special.
And it is the biggest event so far for Rotax after all these years. 394
drivers.
And 8 classes.
It's a fantastic sight.
How's your voice so far?
Oh, the voice is fine. There was a slight football match last night. I may have used a little bit of my voice up, but I'm calm. Wales don't play until Friday now, so we're going to be just A-OK.
Yes, only the finals, but we've got someone coming along to support us. He's on the flight. He's on his way.
Yes.
Yes.
Gust Specken.
That's right.
Another element that we're going to bring to you this year is Gust, who is a very, very well-respected Dutch commentator. He is going to be our man on the ground, in the pits, on the grid, getting all the information to relay to you in the studio, me in the commentary box. We've got all the angles
And I'm not
covered.
going to say he's the guy that actually knows what he's doing, because he is a driver. He does race at the highest level in the KZ class now. But I saw him running Grand Finals in the UAE. He came through the second chance race, or then the repechage.
Yes.
And got right through, not quite to the podium, but almost. But I don't want to tell the story and ruin it. No. But he was a junior driver then in Rotax, very, very good. Rotax Racing Days champion in the Netherlands. So there you go, some more statistics and information for you about Gust Specken. He's joining us as well, so he's not here tonight, but he will be here.
Starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, you can see the evening is upon us, the track activity, the big drivers tent with all 300, well, not the E20 drivers, 360 drivers in the main tent. They are all sort of winding down for the evening. This is being broadcast out in the paddock, so hello to everybody in the paddock. Hello to everybody watching on the Rotax Karting YouTube channel, as well as on the Rotax Global app. You can watch that. There really are no reasons why you can't be watching every single minute of this year's Grand Finals.
That's it. And we're here every day. And for the times live as well, you can find them all, you know, on the social channels, but also on the new Rotax Grand Finals website. Just Google it and you'll find it. In the meantime, we've got to have a look at the video.
Yes.
The first video, actually.
A nice welcome video.
Yes.
It's all well and good, us welcoming you to the Grand Finals. Yes. Let the Rotax family welcome you to the Grand Finals.
Hola from Colombia. Hello from the Netherlands.
Okay, just say hello, welcome to the Rotax Grand Finals.
At the same time.
Ahoj, vítejte na Rotaxovém Grand Finále.
First time for both of us. 22 out of 23. So I missed the first one, 1999, but yeah, been to every other one. Yeah.
This is my second time. Marhaba, welcome to the Rotax Grand Finals. Last time when I was in Bahrain, I started last, but I climbed to 8th position at the end.
2001, I won the Masters in Malaysia.
Making it to the final in 2021. Yeah, that was really good.
Hola y bienvenidos al Grand Final. Welcome to the Rotax Max Grand Final.
欢迎来到 Rotax Grand Finals.
My expectations basically are to, I think, progress.
World champion, obviously. There's only one answer.
Pride and respect and excitement.
I think I'm like one of the first drivers qualified from Saudi to the Grand Finals.
Obviously, there are champions from all the countries, and the cars are the same. The engine, so it's very close together, and it's very competitive, and that just makes it so special.
It's going to be a fun experience. We can't wait for the week ahead.
Go Chinese Taipei! Viva Belgium!
Go South Africa!
Thank you, Portimão. In Hungarian, say hello and welcome to the Grand Finals in Hungarian.
Köszönöm szépen, hogy itt lehetek a Grand Finalen. Thank you. Forza Jane White.
Yes.
It's a fantastic welcome video, Ramiro. Incredible to see all those smiling faces. That was leading into the race days, of course. Now it gets a little bit more serious.
Yes.
And that's where you come in, I know. But today's really the day of the organisation, about where we are, the location. A lot of work goes into this event. We are a few years down the track.
Yes,
so
it's a full year work to build this fantastic event. It's one of the biggest event, karting event in the world. The logistic is absolutely crazy. Everything, it's a full year work. When we finish one, we start thinking in the next one, and it's amazing to have everything here.
Now, of course, I have to say congratulations, 10 years down the track in this role. What can you tell us? Any special memories or how you've seen it grow or develop, you know, for you from your perspective as race director?
Yes, first of all, I had the pleasure to work with, for me, the best race director ever, Nigel Edwards, and I learned a lot with him. And I saw this event growing every year for this huge size it has today. We improved in every aspect, since the sportive one to the logistic one. And if I compare what I experienced in 2011 than we are experienced today, I can say that there's no way to compare it.
No.
We are in a very high level, and it's. I was speaking with one of the Rotax in charge men, and I was saying that from now on, when we improve details, because the level is so high that it's difficult to make something really big, because we are already in a high level event.
Of course, it's a lot different in this way, that the teams aren't responsible to bring all the material, their tents, their trucks or their vans or their trailers. You have to be thinking about all these things for the logistics, of course. I know Robert, you know, from Rotax also, he's thinking, Robert Baumgartner, all the time about the logistics. What are we going to do? When we had the cart line up, it's actually back the front this time. So the carts were facing the wrong way, and I'm thinking, that's okay. Before, I'm sure they were going this way. But there was a reason, of course, the sun, when it comes up, and for the photo, and it looks so different going the other way. Every year that photo really gets me when I see that, you know, 400 plus go-karts on the grid. But it's a lot of work just to get them here. I know I see all these engines and carts being made, and you see photos, and the guys are saying, oh yeah, we're working on the Grand Finals, and you're thinking, wow, they're already working on the Grand Finals, and it's months away?
Yes.
So
and sometimes it's January, and I'm receiving mails asking about things to the next Grand Finals that will be at the end of the year. Yes,
that's funny.
That's huge. Even for us, from my side, the sportive side, the Grand Finals are the highest moment of the year, because it's a huge event. As you said, everything, and it's a level one. You know, everybody starts with the same chances to win. The level of driving here is so high, because every single driver who is here is already a champion in his country. I don't know any competition in the world like this.
No.
In what concerns level of driving, and of course we need to be we need to be ready to give the right answer to this demand in an event like this.
Celebration of the champions, I think we call it. It does have a spirit of being national team. You represent your country, and of course we have different manufacturers that support it, different partners as well, not only in the media but also with products, helmets and clothing and all different sorts of things. Of course, when we talk about coming here and providing that material, it's a big challenge. Of course, everything has to be the same. That in itself is a challenge. I know I got some statistics also from Robert, and he said 17 trucks from 4 countries. 17 trucks. I overtook 2 of them on the way here a few weeks ago. They were already on the way. Of course, how many people in the paddock do you think? 500, 3. It depends on the weather, actually. That's a trick question. Depends on the weather, and of course who's racing, and where we are. But thousands of people. Perfect location here. We've got the biggest podium, so I think it's about 12-meter screen,
the
LED.
Screen is really
incredible. We've got Matilda Olsen. If you don't know, that's the lady behind with the beautiful eyes behind the helmet. Now everyone knows who it is. She's going to be here tomorrow. But she's plastered all over the city, all over when you're driving into the circuit. So much promotion. It's fantastic. But we do make it the biggest and the best for those who are the champions. So, and of course, such an important role for you. 10 years down the track. I did see you on the track 2006, Viana, also in Portugal, but not in this role.
No,
but
I was
when you turned up, you know, all those years later, 6 years later.
In Dubai.
Yeah, in the Middle East, so in the Emirates, was really already growing, and now it's even bigger. And I'm not going to put any pressure on you, but it's all on your shoulders.
Honestly, I'm just the face of a huge organization that mixes Rotax with the locals. Here, they are Portuguese, are from my country, but when we work outside, they are not from my country. So this is a huge organization, and I'm just the face of it. But let me tell you, one of the things that I think it's more valuable in Rotax, this is an event that mixes perfectly the competition, the motorsport, the high-level driving with a social view of what motorsport can do to the world.
Yeah.
I was saying in the briefings and asking to the drivers, let's keep this good ambience in paddock, because we need to be sure that this is not just competition. This is competition and adding values to the kids that start their careers here. Some of them probably we'll see them in Formula 1 in our other high categories of motorsport in the future. So what we do here is also an important job in what concerns social values, principles, everything that has to be with the construction of the human being. So I think that's a point of view very important and very interesting in what the role of motorsport in the world.
That's right, and we're right at the bottom, at the grassroots level. Yeah. This is where it starts. We've got the little micros and minis out there. And just like you, when you started as a flaggy, all those years ago, when you were also a young teenager, before you were a teenager.
I was 13.
Think. Yes.
Actually.
So it's the same. We are responsible. It's a lifestyle, but it's also about, lessons for life, I guess.
Yes, I always say my job is not this. I manage companies, and I always say that motorsport teach me almost the most important things I learn and I use in my work every day.
Every day, yeah.
That's why I'm all the time asking to fathers, entrants, us to build and to pass to the children, to the new drivers, that this is not just competition. No. This is a way of living.
Yeah.
And you can do it properly. So I think our role in all this scene is very important.
It is. And of course we're missing Arnaldo Frias from Caritas, but we send out our regards to Arnaldo. Normally he's sitting here, but I think it's been really nice and interesting. And of course, about respect, I think you've gained a lot of respect. Even some of the words you've said, I'm sure a lot of people relate to this, not only in motorsport and in karting, but parents as well. So yeah, it's been really nice to have you.
Thank you for the invitation.
And thank you so much for everything, all the team and everyone behind this. Fantastic, once again, but it's only just beginning. So we're going to have to sit tight, and I hope the weather's nice, kind to you, although you're not on the track all the time. But I just want to ask you, have you done any shopping? Like, have you got
Yes, of
your
course.
special edition?
It's part of the Rotax world. When you come to Rotax, you buy.
That's right. You come to the Grand Finals, you have to get souvenirs. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a little bit of a look at that, because Sarah and I from Rotax, we've been shopping today. And yes, so we got our goodies. We probably bought too much, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But take a look, and we'll see you tomorrow on the track.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ramiro.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. So what else are we going to do?
I don't know. Look at this.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, come on.
Shopping.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know, maybe.
Just take it. They just
Maybe I take the cap.
Oh, look, Jen.
Is that the bandana? Actually, that's Matilda. Matilda Olsen. Okay, well, we're going to need like a bag. What about this? Ah, beanie.
Beanie.
Okay, we need a beanie. We need it. Actually, it's pretty cool. Maybe one for the car. I think my mum would really like that. I know someone. They'll like it. That's with the new logo.
Let's take one.
What size have they got? So there's a big one. We need that one. Okay.
Just take it. Just take it. Everything is cap.
Oh my God. No, you can't take the... Oh yeah. Got the children. Oh, this one.
It's adjustable. You can adjust.
What do you think? And the beanie?
No, that's...
Oh, that looks cool. You can also wear it on your head.
You're not joking?
No, we're not joking.
Oh,
We've got so much to...
Please.
Okay, hang on, we've got a jacket. We just happen to have a jacket.
How much?
What's your name?
Alex.
Hi, Alex. This
I
is Sarah.
live here. I'm engaged, by the way, so...
Okay, well, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm recently engaged.
Oh, yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
And just for that...
Let's go.
And, so what else are we going to do?
Well, there we go. Jen, I have to say that Sarah, who works for Rotax, and you, one of our next guests, Zen the Rua, is looking quite nervously when he realised that Sarah was using his credit card to buy the merchandise. But
I forgot that Zen was coming in after this, and yeah, he's now seen what we were doing.
Sarah, you've been rumbled.
Yes.
But let's have a look.
And now he knows what he's getting for Christmas.
Oh, there we go.
And all her family and his family also know what they're getting.
But what did you watch? Let's have a little look. We have
yes.
the Rotax gym sack.
All the drivers get
a gym
as
sack,
well.
a gym bag for putting
I've got
something
so many
in,
things
trainers,
in the bag.
perhaps, school.
Yes.
School.
I've got T-shirts and blankets.
T-shirts.
And
well, let's have a little look. I can't.
Kids' T-shirts, of course, for the little
No,
ones.
I'm not going to model any of this. A kid's T-shirt. It might fit over like one arm or something like that.
I think this is really nice, and everyone that's here, like mechanics, families, if the kids are at home,
Yes,
or
of
you've
course.
got friends who want it. This is special edition stuff.
Let's
It's
have a
really
look at it
cool.
then. So we'll get rid of that there. Let's have a
yes.
look. What have we got here?
And it's got the matching cap.
This is definitely my size.
Yeah, there's all different sizes for the kids. Of course,
Excellent.
we've got the matching cap,
Matching
which
hats.
is really nice.
Look,
Oh, perfect fit.
it works with the mustache. There we go. A new hat. This is what we need.
It's also the rebranding. Yes, this is really good. We'll take
Yes,
this
if
one
you
out.
notice, ladies and gentlemen, the RMC logos on our thing, it's changed. Rotax have had a rebranding exercise. I have to say, the new RMC logos, you have the red for the Grand Finals, green for national Rotax Max events, and blue for continental and international events.
Yes. Also the
If I wear this hat for long enough and walk out, they may
Yes.
not notice that I've
Well, actually, we bought the whole shop, so it doesn't
Oh, there
matter.
we go. And my Viking hat is a little bit small this year. So there we go.
No,
What have
you
we
can
got?
keep that one.
What
We've
have we
got
got
the
here?
shirts
We've
for the
got the-
adults in the different colour.
Ah, now we're talking a large.
In a
there
large.
We go.
Oh,
This is
we
mine.
go right up to some X's. There's a few X's and L's and everything.
So very nice.
Yes.
Very nice
And
indeed.
This is especially, you know, just for the grand finals. So anyone, if you're watching at home and you do want one, you have
Yes.
to get the people here to buy it because it's not on the online shop
And
because they're only for here.
Our poster girl, Matilda Olsen.
Yes.
She's going to be joining us later this week. Of course, she raced
With
the
you.
grand finals last year. She'll be doing some commentary with me. Now, here we go. This is something, ladies and gentlemen, that we didn't think we might need this year, but it's a
I
nice
think they're just about to sell out of these. They've got a
warm
couple left.
towel.
Yes.
Right, how are we going to do this? We've got to go this way, the other way round.
So now you're
Right.
sorted. I've got my shopping. I've got some other things in there, but
Ladies and their shopping, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. But this is a nice warm Rotax towel.
is warm.
I like the design at the bottom.
Yes,
Makes your heart beat faster.
that's right. That's the.
But I'm going to wrap myself
Yes.
up in this now. It's not warm this
I
evening,
think
is
we
it?
don't get it back. I think we don't get it back.
We will have to give it back, some of it.
We bought the whole shop. Yes. Anyway, so that's the shopping, and also there's so much more.
Yes.
Of the new Rotax rebranded line. There's the undershirts, the dry fit, everything, but they're all available on the online shop, which you can find at rotax-cart.com.
If you can't find what you're looking for with Rotax on it in the Rotax online shop or here at the circuit, quite frankly, you aren't looking hard enough. Rotax have done a fantastic job of not just your standard clothing, but yeah, there's other bits of merchandise that
And
you
there's
can buy that's very,
backpacks
very
and
different.
everything online as well.
Yes.
And they always have deals, so you usually find every couple of months there's something that you can buy a little
Yes.
bit on sale, but discounted, and new things as they come on as well. So keep watching that. And they'll deliver all over the place. So.
But one
Yes.
thing, don't let Jen Wade loose in the shop with your credit card. Isn't that right? We'll talk to Zen
Oh, come
Darua
on.
very shortly.
Yes, it was outlet shopping, so it was. We tried to get a discount though. I must admit, we tried with this, and the lady was not buying it.
No, not
But,
buying it. But of course, that's just
yes.
one element of the event here. Obviously, you're watching the studio show. We have the live stream,
Yes.
but social media is such an important element. And Andy Eisleitner is in charge of our social media. The Rotax social media onslaught for this event
Yeah.
is huge. There's lots of new things that are happening on social media that we'd like you, the viewers, but also the drivers in the paddock to get involved with.
Yes, of course, Instagram stories,
Yes.
YouTube. If you subscribe on the YouTube channel, you're actually going to be able to see when they post, which there will be one, I guess, tonight or in the morning. Every
Yes.
day there's new videos, which are unbelievable.
So what we would like to do, if you're a competitor here, or if you've got a family member here racing, every social media post on Instagram, the hashtag, now I've been getting up to date with my technology, the hashtag is RMC, Rotax Max Challenge, RMCGF 2022. RMCGF 2022. Hashtag on Instagram. So every post that you put up about your driver or you or a friend or a family member who's racing, that's your hashtag that you put on Instagram and Twitter, Twitter.
And Facebook.
And Facebook. It's the Instagram is at Rotax Karting, all one word, Rotax, Rotax, Karting, Karting. See, I've even learned to spell
That's right.
for this edition of
yes,
the Grand Finals.
well, we did say it's lessons for life, and
Exactly.
so little Henry will be happy.
The Rotax Karting YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So every day, and this is social media exclusives, you won't see them anywhere else apart from on social media. Every day, the daily recap is posted. A short video, there's footage, there's images. That is on the Facebook page, which is Rotax Kart. It's on the YouTube channel, which is Rotax Karting. Now, what you need to do, if you go to the Rotax Karting YouTube channel, you must click, and this is where my son, young Henry, 13-year-old, an avid YouTuber, you've got to hit the like and subscribe and the bell for notifications. You've got to smash the button for like and subscribe.
Yes, you do.
So you'll get all the Rotax karting
Yep.
notifications. Did I sound like a hip and trendy
Yes, you
YouTuber?
did.
I did.
We'll
There we
keep
go.
working on that one every day. We're going to do this every day. We're going to keep practicing about
Yes. So that
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and
Yes.
subscribe. Like and
And you'll
subscribe.
get the notifications.
Notification. The push notifications.
Remember also, link in bio to the Rotax Grand Finals website. New website for Rotax
yes,
and
brand
for
new.
the Grand Finals, separate. For live stream, live timing, everything, the links are there. As well, the daily reports.
Yes.
The gallery, the photos, everything.
Thank you to Alex Goldstreet for the daily
Yes,
report.
all the
Lucas
results,
Ivanek for the
stories.
photos. Andy for the social media,
Yep.
the site. And the new Grand Finals website is
Yep.
www.grandfinals.rotax-kart.com. Rolls off the tongue.
But easiest is just to search
Yes.
Rotax Grand Finals 2022.
Google.
And there it is.
Other search engines are
Yes.
available, but Google Grand Finals, Rotax Grand
Or
Finals.
on the Rotax Global app.
Yes, or the Rotax Global app on your mobile telephonic device.
That's it. So, yeah, I think that just about covers.
That covers it.
Social
So
media.
get your merchandise, go
Yep.
to social media. I'm going to remove these. I promise
Yes.
faithfully that I will take all this
No,
merchandise back.
I
No,
bought
it's
them.
yours. It's yours. Oh, well, it's early Christmas
Actually, I
present.
bought a few bags full, but we'll put them in
saw.
here. We're going to take a little bit of a look today.
Yes.
Although it's dark now, but earlier
Yes,
we took a little bit of a zoom around the track.
quite literally, in the air.
We did, in the air, and it was a little bit squashy, but we managed it. So Zendaru takes me on a lap
Really?
in the drone,
Excellent. A fast lap.
a fast lap.
A dry lap.
Yes, it was. We were on slicks, and it was fast. And he
Okay.
was the fastest in the first practice, so
Okay.
yeah, stay tuned, and I'll see you a little bit later.
Yes. Watch a lap of Portimão with Zendaru and Jen Wade.
Zendaru, here we are, back at the Cartodromo International Delgarve, 1,600 metres of fantastic circuit.
Of pleasure, yeah. It's amazing to be here. It's always Grand Finals is an amazing event. Even this year, when you saw the lineup, it's incredible. So
It is incredible, isn't it?
And the track, I mean, as I said to you before, I love this track. It's a very high-speed track. Been here a few times, so yeah, it's great to be here.
Good to have you, and of course you're going to take us on a little lap here, coming into the first corner.
So first corner, yeah, it's full in DD2. Most classes is full speed. So in DD2 is in second gear, and then you get a good exit out of corner one, and then when you go to corner two, sometimes you need to defend, and so here hard past the curb, hard braking, rolling speed into corner three, which is a little chicane. So positioning out of this right-hander is very important to get a good exit for the left one, and then an opportunity to overtake into the hairpin. So a few tight corners, little long straight. So then here you get opportunity to overtake.
Once
So
again, lots of overtaking opportunities.
Yes, so this is quite a long 180 hairpin, not too wide on the exit, because then you have a fast left-hand corner. So yeah, and then here the fast left corner, again full throttle, second gear. You go a little bit uphill, so you feel you need some lateral grip. Be careful on the exit on the rumble strip, especially now with the wet conditions. Another fast left corner, full throttle, little lifting, depends also on the conditions, and then again hard braking into the double left hairpin. Also here again exit is quite important, because again you have a fast right-hander, so which is also full throttle. And then again here the rumble strip is plastic, so when it's wet also a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Another fast right-hander. Here in DD2 you can play a little bit in which gear you go in.
Yeah.
So, and then we go downhill towards the corner. So the braking is, let's say, downhill, but then when you go towards the corner, we go again uphill into a very tight and narrow chicane. Here also overtaking opportunity, and then positioning for the left-hander, again very crucial, because then we go uphill to the last 2 turns. So here, coming out of the left-hander, get a good exit, and then uphill. Here, yeah, positioning also very important. We go more uphill, so from here on it's uphill, 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 all the way to the last corner. So the last corner, again, a very fast corner. And then, yeah, it's downhill to the start-finish line. So
Gosh.
it's an incredible track.
Incredible. So many corners and turns and everything. But absolutely beautiful for the racing. Lots of overtaking and...
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. You have very fast, some a bit slower.
Yeah.
I think there are, yeah, 3, 4, maybe 5 overtaking spots. So, yeah, it's great to be here.
It is good. And of course, I just grabbed you because you've come in from the first practice. A little bit of chaos there.
Yeah.
What happened?
So when we were on the grid, lined up to start the practice, I think 1 minute to go, it started raining. And I think, yeah, 50% changed to wet tires, including myself, and the rest on slicks. So we went out, but after a few laps I felt this is not it, and one driver on slicks passed me, so I came in. We changed, and then I think I had 3 laps, and last lap we put it on P1.
Fantastic.
So not a bad way to start the weekend.
Not a bad way. Now, how many times have you been here, Zen, altogether?
In Portimão or Grand
Yeah,
Finals?
in Portimão.
Portimão, this is my 3rd Grand Final. I qualified 4th,
Yes,
4 times.
that's right.
But one was cancelled
2020, yeah.
due to COVID, so
Yeah.
on track 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's my 10th Grand Finals. so
Congratulations.
thank you.
10 Grand Finals, wow.
Yeah.
And of course, best results, best memories from the Grand Finals?
I mean, as you know, my racing career had many ups and downs. In 2012, I was leading here when I had the mechanical failure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have, you know, mixed feelings. I've come many times very close, and as many drivers say, it's how you pick yourself up. You know, don't let this get down, and every year we try again. I tried for Belgium, now with a new team, new country for Slovenia, already 5 years. It's amazing, and I mean, on pure result, in Italy we finished 3rd.
Yes.
So that was the best one, and here we finished 4th.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're always in the mix, and hopefully one year we can bring it home.
Yes, could be this year. He loves the track. Of course, spectacular, overlooking the Formula One and the MotoGP track.
Yeah.
So, love to be here today and this week. I think we're going to have a little bit of mixed weather. So, as you saw already in the first practice, can rain. It changes so quickly. It's a little bit windy, and the next thing, it's sunny.
Yeah, it will be. I think this week will be everything about the weather and which set of tires. I mean, which tire option you will put. There is, like always, you need luck, but there might be a little bit of gambling involved as well. So, I mean, the level is incredible. We are the best of the best in all categories. Already this morning, you saw, you know, the level is so high. Everything is so close. So. Then it's, yeah, that little bit of luck or just that right choice, that tire pressure that makes the difference. So, yeah, we will see.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And, of course, we started it off with that beautiful picture on the track of all the go-karts, and we were just talking about it walking in. You never, ever get sick of seeing that.
Yeah. And
so
this year, even more.
Even
I mean,
more.
It's
almost 400.
Yeah, because also they flipped it.
Yes.
In the previous years, they did it the opposite.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, breathtaking.
Beautiful.
Breathtaking.
Just like the circuit. Thank you very much, Zen. I know you've got to get back, have some lunch and get ready for the next session.
Thank you for having
I
me.
think a lot of people will enjoy the you know, presentation, but also understanding as a driver and in the DD2, anyone that wants to watch it and anyone that hasn't, of course, driven can understand also. It's up and down and round and back. And
I mean, a little bit like the F1 track.
Yeah.
Also, they call it a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's not so extreme, but yeah, it's an amazing track.
Yeah.
It's really...
Well, thank
this
you.
morning I was like, okay,
Excited.
here we go. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
here we go. And it's only the start. First practice. So make sure you stay with us, Zen, and thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Zen. Zen now joins us in the studio, along with E20 senior driver Shota Kitazonu. Shota, first of all, we spoke to Zen, and Zen has been in this event 10 times. This is your second event. You qualified for this race at Al Ain Raceway back in the UAE maybe 10 years ago. Try and describe the difference coming back to this event 10 years, how much it's grown, how much is different.
Hi, this is Shota Kitadono from Japan, and the last time was, it was 10 years ago, but after that I stopped racing, and I started working in Porsche, and I was waiting this time because I saw some movie, the Rotax YouTube, they made EV kart finally, and the other time I was really wanted to join that, but that was not yet started in Japan and in the world. But finally here we are, and I'm working with Porsche about electronic things, and especially Taycan. So the EV vehicle is totally different with gas vehicle. So I was so excited to be here because EV car is finally start. So so exciting to be here.
And of course, Zen, you see this event year on year, and there are subtle changes that happen. Like this year, there's 394 karts. They move things around. But you can imagine a driver. We've got one driver that hasn't raced in this event for 20 years, but you haven't been for 10 years. The culture shock is still every year. The site is still as impressive. Between the 12 months between last year and this year, you just pinch yourself coming back through the big archway in the paddock.
Yeah, it's an incredible event, as I also mentioned to Jenny, and also from my side, I'm lucky in a way to see what goes behind scenes. It really takes a lot of work from all sides. What also Jenny discussed with Ramiro, logistics and everything, and it's just every year they keep impressing and surprising us. You know, also the weight on which track is it going to be next year, Europe, out of Europe, and to come to events like this, it's just incredible.
I mean, I think it's very kind of both you and your wife, Sarah, to have bought Shota so many presents from the Rotax office. I mean, I'm sure. Shota, first of all, talk us a little bit about your E20. You are committed to racing electric karts. Is that a decision based just on the future of the sport, or is there something more fundamental, environmental? Tell us a little bit about why you're so committed to E20, and then we'll discuss the presents and what Zen and Son's wife has bought you for Christmas.
So, as I told you, I'm working in Porsche and doing some EV things all the time. And, I'm a racing driver, so I love to drive. And there are only gas vehicle before, but they suddenly changed to EV vehicle. It was 150 years keep going gas vehicle, but they suddenly changed to EV. And when I drive EV vehicle on the first time, it was totally different. So at the time, I was imagining if it's the go-kart changed to EV, it's going to be a huge difference. So the history changes. So it's going to be a game changer. That's why I was focused on the EV. And when I drive on the E20 Senior on today, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, yesterday. It was so impressive. It was so racy and torqueful. So enjoying for that.
Yes. The culture shock you mentioned about the track. There must have been a culture shock coming here after it. Tell us a little about the difference that you noticed from the last time you raced in the Grand Finals to when you arrived here this year. The paddock, the people, the size of the event. How much has it grown in the last 10 years?
On my last time was DD2 Senior. So now it's E20. So E20 is a different paddock. So there are all drivers coming into one paddock, and there are all data logger also. And Rotax guys are taking care of all these drivers by data and hey and hi, and community is very so friendly. So we are sharing all data and all knowledges in the tent. So it wasn't in 10 years ago, of course. Maybe it's because of the E20.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the E20 paddock, the technology that Rotax have got allows the drivers to look at the data from every kart. You obviously get your data for your kart, and there might be a driver next door and the same thing that you can share data with. But even though all the drivers from all the nations are in the same tent, the data that you get off your kart is a closely guarded secret for you. Can you imagine what it would be like being able to come off the circuit as one of 72 DD2 drivers and get the same sort of data that Shota gets? There's 71 other data streams of where every driver is braking. That how
suggestion for next year.
A suggestion for next year. But it really is, you know, from your perspective as a veteran or experienced DD2 driver, that must be incredible.
Yeah, I've also had the pleasure of driving the e-kart myself and raced as well. And also the data, when I was participating in those events, it helped me. So you learn, also you have the boost button, so it's something new. So you need to understand where to use the boost, how many times you can use the boost. In some tracks you can use it twice, but then the next lap you don't have it. So it's a little bit a different way, and I think that the data that they have, it helps a lot. It's a unique tool that the e-kart gives you, and it helps you improve. So for us, as a DD2 driver, as the Grand Finals was here already a few years ago, I have data from before.
Yes.
But track conditions are different. So.
Are different, yes, yes. The boost button. Okay, Shota. Yeah. Without giving us any secrets away about where you're using it, what is it like to have like a boost button, like a push to pass, or that little bit of extra power? It's like DRS in Formula One, where suddenly there's like, oh, a bit faster, we make a move. What is that like? Is that one of the reasons you think that the E20 is a game changer on top of everything else?
You know, the boost button is
a lot of fun.
Yes, it's amazing. Yeah, right. It's so amazing. Yeah, and you know, during the race, maybe the point is different. You know, for the best time will be another point. So when I push for the one boost button, we can use only 5 seconds, and we have to wait 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then press again.
Okay.
So maybe two times a lap in here.
Now, you've had experience of the e-kart as well. On Sunday, Rotax have somehow, against my better judgment, might I add, persuaded me to have a go and do a proper test in a senior E20 kart. Right, as an experience, please tell me, give me 2 different tips each. The 2 most important things I must remember, apart from bringing a clean change of underwear, of what I need to do. We'll start with you, Zen. What are my 2 biggest tips for driving an E20 on Sunday?
So yeah, it's a heavy go-kart.
Yes,
so
well,
you need
I'm used to that. It's okay.
So yeah, you will feel the weight into the braking. So don't brake too late.
Okay, it's been. The last time I drove a proper kart was 2008, by the way.
Been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. So, okay, so the weight and the braking, don't leave my braking too late. I don't think there's much chance of that happening.
And of course, as Shota mentioned, that you have a massive amount of torque. So, you know, when you exit the corner, make sure that you're straight and get a good exit.
Right then, so not brake too late. Wait till I'm in a straight line before I press the gas. What are your 2 tips for me, Shota?
You know, when I'm driving in a wet session, it was so difficult.
Oh, don't tell me that. It was nice and easy. Okay, yes.
So difficult, but so much great because of the weights, I think. So it's very sensitive to drive, but it's so much fun. And we have to think about which part we have to use the boost button.
Okay.
So the boost button is good for overtake and also defense.
So as long as I don't brake too late, accelerate in a straight line, use the boost button, and beware of the sensitivity of the kart, I should be just fine, yes?
Should be, yes.
Should be, yes. Stop laughing. It'll be great fun. Okay, guys, thank you ever so much. It's been fantastic to catch up with you, Zen. I know that you mentioned with Jen, there's some painful memories from this circuit. There's some positive memories. You'll be out for qualifying tomorrow. Shota, you had qualifying today. Let's catch up with how qualifying went on this afternoon. Well, there we go. That is a great insight into what we can expect from the rest of the week. We'll start off with qualifying today. 5 qualifying sessions took place today, E20 Junior and E20 Senior, and Shota was in the E20 Senior. Then we had Micromax, Minimax, and DD2 Masters. The other classes, Junior, Senior, and DD2, they begin their quest for a Rotax Grand Final Championship tomorrow. But today we'll start off with E20 Junior, E20 Senior, and I have to say that Shota, he was 6th fastest originally, but we talked about the weight of the kart. Well, there was a little bit too less weight than necessary, so Shota will be starting at the back of the grid in the E20 race tomorrow, but that's going to be very spectacular. But it was Jesper Sjöberg who came up top for Sweden, a very, very experienced driver. You remember Jesper for many years. And of course, Hannes Morin for Sweden was on the E20 podium last year. So E20, the electric karting world in Sweden, have got a very close relationship, haven't they?
Yes, I was actually in Sweden for the first ever Swedish e-kart championship. And it was really spectacular. I guess they had also heavy rain, they had beautiful sunshine, a bit of a mix.
Yes.
It's no surprise then to see him at the top. So I'm not surprised. And yes, we've seen him in juniors, seniors, now in the e-kart. He told me next year he's coming back in the DD2. He's going to win a ticket.
Excellent.
A little bit of background.
Our E20 senior top 5. Jesper Sjöberg from Sweden, Raul Vargas from Spain 2nd, Griffin Dowler from Canada 3rd, Matthias Njem from Lebanon in 4th, and Luca Kuster from Germany in 5th. So that was E20 Senior. The juniors will be racing on the same track as the seniors for their heats and pre-finals, but the starts will be split. There will be a big gap between the two classes so that you won't have the two classes mixing together. And that was Joel Bergström who was fastest. Mikael Soltis was 2nd. Thomas Ibsen 3rd. Christopher Holtz 4th. And Tish Dams in 5th position. So we had a mixture of nationalities in E20 Junior, but in E20 Senior, Bergstrom, Sweden again, top of the pile, but then 2 drivers from Poland, Soltis and Ibsen, Holst from Switzerland and Dams from Belgium.
Now, of course, that means that the Swedes at the moment are looking like favourites at this stage, but
There's a Japanese E20 driver standing just off camera there that was staring daggers. The Swedes haven't won anything just yet.
He actually said to me, I want a bit of a challenge. I need to practice some overtaking. I haven't been racing for a few years.
Yes.
I think I'm going to start at the back.
That's exactly, and that's what Shota
what he told me.
That's his tactic.
Yes.
Now we move on to Micromax. So the youngest drivers here, 36 drivers, their qualifying session was dry. It was the only dry qualifying session after the E20s. Then the rain came down, and it's a good day for Team UK. Daniel Minto for Team UK. He's actually run by Reese Hunter, who's represented Team UK in lots of grand finals. Daniel Minto will start from pole position. Maxim Becker will start from P2. So that's UK, Germany in 2nd. 3rd, Marco Manson. And that's a great result for New Zealand. As we said, New Zealand being welcomed back to the grand finals. They missed last year.
Also, they're in a completely different time zone. Like, you know, at the moment, it's a completely different time zone. So when those little guys are here...
It takes a lot of time to adjust to that. So it was UK, followed by Germany, followed by New Zealand, with Kasper Raschpolt and Albert Friend 4th and 5th. Albert Friend finished in the top 10 last year. He is the Rotax Grand Festival winner.
Right,
so 2 drivers from the UK, Poland, Germany, and the Kiwis, the black and silver from Team Kiwi. And that was and Micromax is on course to be a stunning event.
And when you look at
always.
the times as well, I mean, so close, just as we found in the mini, but in the micros also, it's crazy. They're going around the corner like 4 wide.
Yes.
So sometimes, you really have to think, these kids are so inexperienced, and yet they're so competitive, and they're so, I don't know, it's such an inspiration to see them. Of course, for the UK, next year we'll see Micromax for the first time at the British Championship.
Yes, we will.
So
we
they
will.
don't have that much experience. They
we
only have like 3 races.
Special events, yes.
Yeah.
We have qualifier events just for this in the UK. We'll go on to Masters next. We had Minimax, but there's a few little issues being sorted out with Minimax. DD2 Masters, of course, the Praga carts looking beautiful ever. 36 of them. Paul Louveau from France. Now, last year, in French were very, very strong in DD2 Masters. It's Paul Louveau. Then it's Slovakia's Martin Konopka, second fastest. Brazil's Fernando Guzzi, one of the veterans of this event, in third. Can never count out Fernando Guzzi.
He's also 10 Grand Finals.
Yes, indeed. Kristaps Gasparovic in fourth for Latvia. Of course, Latvia last year won their first Grand Finals with Thomas Dolsomanis. Kristaps Gasparovic is the son of former Grand Final driver Eric Gasparovic. Eric's just lost out on the ticket to his son this year, but Eric's has found a way to get here. He's mechanicking for Team Latvia's Heinrich Gruber, and he said as well his grandson is also racing now as well. But Grandad has got his eyes on a ticket for 2023. He was like, I'm not going to let Kristaps have all the fun.
So we had our first Latvian winner last year, Haida Tomash, because he sent a message from Vegas last week.
Las Vegas, yes.
But of course, now we maybe even have 2, 3, 4 on the run.
Yes,
Who
indeed.
knows?
It's been remarkable.
Yeah.
Claudio Pagliarani, first time in Masters. So the DD2 Masters is for the drivers that are over 31 years of age. How long till Zen Daru's in a Masters kart? I mean, he's looking
must be at least, I don't know, 15.
Only a couple of years until the Masters drivers have a very, very fast Belgian stroke.
Yes, but there's a few more on the
Slovenian.
way, Henry.
Yes.
There's some that are really close. I think we're going to have another grid.
We're going to have to go back up to 72. It's quite simple. And then we're going to have 468 carts next year. Derek Wang was sixth. Captain America, America's most capped Rotax Grand Final driver. He's sixth fastest. Pagliarani fifth, and Henry's Gruber. So Eric's Gasparovics, 2 Gasparovics family members in the top 7, 1 behind the wheel and 1 behind the spanners.
Yeah. One behind the trolley.
Now, the last qualifying sessions that we had were Minimax. 2 split grids. There are still some amendments being made. Obviously, every driver has to go through post-qualifying scrutineering. Lots of different elements of the kart, the weight and everything is checked. So we haven't got the official qualifying results. But when you talked about new winners last year, Latvia became a new Rotax Grand Finals winner. How about Lebanon this year? Because Christopher El Fagali was fastest overall in his group for Lebanon, and he's won multiple events in the international trophy. He has raced in Micromax. It seems like he's, still a Minimax driver. He raced in junior Rotax in the international trophy.
Just for some practice.
Just for some practice. Yeah. He was fastest in his group, and Team UK, Harry Bartle, was fastest in his group. So we're going to have a really good battle between some of the more traditional nations in the Grand Finals, like Team UK. I think Great Britain is second on the all-time winners lists behind South Africa. I think the top 4 rather, are South Africa, Britain, then France and Canada in terms of who have won the most Grand Finalists. But you've got the traditional powerhouse of the UK going against an up-and-coming nation in Lebanon. Lebanon have been knocking on the door. It's great to see. I've been doing this event for 8 years, and 8 years ago in Valencia, the Lebanese team was very small, and it was maybe not at the front. Now we have got more Lebanese drivers in most classes, and they're on course for potentially their first podium, even their first win.
Well, look at Matthias. He was actually at the top of the timesheet.
Yes.
In the E20 senior.
Yes.
And I just want to say one thing. The end of both sessions of Mini, both the guys at the top had 1 extra lap.
Yes.
I say 1 extra lap, they went past the flag before it was waved. Therefore, we waited. It was like Formula One. We waited for them to both come around, like in each of the 2 groups.
Yep.
And we didn't know in the second group whether Harry was actually going to be on pole or not. Christopher was waiting anxiously by the screen. Christopher just got it in that last lap. Otherwise, he was second. And Harry didn't beat him, but Harry still stayed on the top, which makes him second overall.
Yes, and so there's a tip for you drivers. Both Christopher Alfagani and Harry Bartle went out right at the front of the grid. They didn't slow down or mess about or anything. They just went and drove. They got the extra lap in.
Yes.
And that was the critical lap. So
and
for
they
the
were
drivers
also having to
tomorrow,
change their tyres. In the meantime, they went out when it was raining or wet enough. So
it was mixed qualifying.
Yeah.
But that's a roundup of qualifying today. 5 classes have done their qualifying. 3 classes will qualify tomorrow, including Zendaru and a certain Rubens Barrichello in DD2. The juniors and the seniors will also do their qualifying. We have got a packed schedule. But Jen, I wonder, what is the weather going to do?
Well, yes, we're going to have a look. I will have a look at my phone.
Yes.
And we'll just take a quick commercial break.
Don't touch that dial.
So that I can check what the weather will be. Be straight back with the weather. 1 second. And what a great show we had. Henry Baudet and all the guests. Fantastic show. So, yeah. I've got new graphics. What do you think? Fantastic. We're going to take a look what's on the weather. Here we go. That's me. I've been a bit artistic there. But tomorrow, we've got qualifying, junior, senior, DD2, 2 grids, so 2 groups of each in the qualifying. Here we go. 16 degrees to 21. Always wanted to be the weather girl. A little bit of sun in the morning and cloud. Lots of sun, but wind around lunchtime at 12. And of course, as the afternoon passes, we've got more sun and more cloud again. Oh, that's me. Yes, here I am. And we are live tomorrow. 10 minutes before 11 local time. So if you're in Central Eastern Europe, it's plus 1 hour until 5:30, the whole day from 10 minutes before 11 until 5:30 in the afternoon local time. So please check online, check the social media because we've got all the times there and also on the website. Link in the bio. Remember, take it to the live stream and of course on YouTube. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Push the button, as Henry said. Give it a hit. And of course, we're going to be back here live. Thanks for joining us. Join us every afternoon, and you just don't know what you can expect here in our live studio. Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, number 23, coming to you live from the circuit in Algarve, Portimão. See you tomorrow.